essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
O'Reilly.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At CDW, we get that a cyborg assistant won't make your employees more productive from home.
Please, call me Brian. I can vacuum your dog.
That's great. But at CDW, we can design a productivity solution with Lenovo devices that offer fast, reliable connectivity to help your people manage their workloads the right way.
Can I have a human hug?
No. For technology that moves you forward, trust Lenovo and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo client.
How do you top the perfect cup of Dunkin' cold brew? With new, sweet, cold foam from Dunkin', of course. A velvety sipping experience that elevates your cold brew with a pillowy, silky, smooth new layer you'll want to sink into. Doesn't that sound delicious? Try a medium chocolate stout flavored cold brew with sweet cold foam, cold brew with sweet cold foam, or cold brew for $3. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
If you're waiting for a liver transplant, you should know that the best outcomes happen when you go in healthier, stronger, sooner. That's why the Penn Medicine Transplant Institute offers living donor liver transplantation, which decreases wait time and increases survival. With experience and outcomes unmatched in our region, Penn Medicine Transplant Institute is completely transforming the liver transplant experience. It's another reason why your life is worth Penn Medicine. Learn more at pennmedicine.org/liver transplant.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincaid Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin.
The show starts now.
And the happiest of Fridays to you. The John Kincaid Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic with our 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White here for the pro. We appreciate you getting up early with us today. Our friends from Hooters will come on by today as the NCAA tournament begins. So
wings.
This is fun. Yeah, there's some wings and there's some fun.
You know, I thought about that on my ride in this morning.
You were thinking about that this morning already?
Surprising.
4:30 a.m. I went, we're getting wings today.
You were already thinking about that, Pat?
It was my happy thought when I woke up this morning.
See, that's great. That's great. Bob, you do a happy thought every...
I do.
Was it wings?
Your happy thought?
No,
was
my
not
happy
that?
thought today was that I got out of bed and I wasn't in excruciating pain.
By the way, the love that this audience has for Bob Cooney. Now, this room, we like him. The audience loves Bob, and the audience was very concerned about you yesterday. A lot of our YouTube viewers.
Except one guy who thought I took off because I celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
The Irish flu, baby.
And I was like, oh, my God, I hope nobody at work thinks that.
Beers with Bob.
Yeah.
No, your back's feeling a little better?
It does. It feels a lot better. I did a full day of treatment yesterday, so it feels a lot better. Yeah.
I just watched you sprint, so, I mean, I was very, very impressed.
I was very happy also.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
I was good. But your happy thought for this morning was?
It's Friday, NCAA tournament, and we're getting wings.
I get to see my girls today.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy.
Doesn't
for
get
you.
much better than that.
And every time I think about it today, I have started to tear up in my eyes, so I'm going to try to just put the show and have a great day.
You just gave us a goal. Make you cry by 10 a.m.
My eyes are ready to cry. But here, guess what? I wanted to cry yesterday afternoon. What a perfect segue, James. Nick Siriani may, end up being a great head coach. His ability to, motivate players and understand NFL offense is, not in question. But, part of the job as a head coach is to like communicate your message and like deal with the media and like the bumps in the road. And after yesterday, I'm like trying to figure out whether like he's going to be some genius that like comes out of nowhere or whether he's like going to be some bumbling guy that's in like over his head. I'm officially like concerned now. Bottom line is like he's not comfortable in the spotlight. That like scares me. This is like a really tough town with some real like a-holes in the media who are going to like dwell on every flaw that you've got. To me, it's like really looking to like be a real bumpy ride for Nick Siriani. And that's where we like begin. The 6 o'clock hour of the John Kincaid Show with Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, and the coach Eric Camille. And like Bob, I can't believe the man was kept in a bunker under wraps for all this time, and that's what we got yesterday. That was just give me your thoughts, and then I'll share mine.
I'm gathering you didn't like his press conference.
Well, I like just don't really understand why like you have to add like in every like sentence because like that's as if you're like a 22-year-old who's never been in the business world before who like has to learn how to like talk in front of people.
Yeah, you know, I hear you. And
it's terrible.
It does grate on me a little bit. I do look at it in a sense of, and I have always looked at it in a sense of when people are uncomfortable behind a microphone. It's really not why they got into sports is to get behind a microphone. But that being said, I agree with you, John. It is, and it's comparable to leading a room, right? It's comparable to talking in front of your players. Now, look, when you're talking about a subject, if I had to get up in front of a bunch of high school kids or college kids and talk about politics or something like that, I wouldn't be comfortable. I haven't covered politics in this town or nationally or anything like that. So it would be awkward. I don't know why he's so uncomfortable talking about football in front of a microphone. It just seems odd to me.
What I also think, though, is along the ideas of why is he so unprepared? Because if like is your every third word, and Jamie, before we get to this, I want you to hear, Pat, we're going to hear the first one. Nick Siriani literally, figuratively, whatever word you want to use, he cannot stop using the word in one soundbite that's around 24 seconds. I believe he says it 7 times.
Whoa.
Listen.
We're always looking for players that love ball. Like, in my experience, like, those 4 things, like, when you find players that have those 4 things, like, those are the guys you can't go to a game without. Like, hey, these guys, the players that have those 4 things, it just feels like every player that I've been around that I'm like, I can't get on the bus or the plane without him. He has those 4 qualities.
I can't understand how, I mean, that is, Jamie, he's been hired to be the CEO of this franchise.
Yeah.
Your head coach is your lead spokesperson. He's the person who absolutely delivers the messages of the brand. The man cannot communicate in public. It scares the hell out of me as an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people are doing it. So one year for a New Year's resolution, you know, I mostly found it pretty dumb and something that most people don't follow through on. One year, my New Year's resolution was to drop the word like from my vocabulary because I knew I was going to, you know, pursue this career and
like you were not
and
really
I know
like.
how awful it sounds and I found myself saying it a lot. So I made it a goal to stop saying that word because it's
like,
awkward.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable and
well, it sounds like a Valley Girl.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I chalk it up to nervousness.
Yes.
So in the grand scheme of things, I'm kind of over press conferences in a weird way. Like,
You're using a comparison.
Yes, like Charlie Manuel and Andy Reid and Doug Peterson all failed.
You can use like when you're making a comparison.
Right.
Bob,
But that's how much.
correct, right?
That's how much I did it. Even the word
bothered you.
It bothers me. So I've been wrong in the past about press conferences. So I don't look too much into it. But I understand why people are uncomfortable. I just hope he can coach.
You can correct yourself of it.
Sure.
Because I told you guys from the beginning, that everybody has crutches in radio.
Absolutely.
You have crutches.
Yeah.
And you try not to have the crutch. And, Pat, do we have the little sounder for my crutch? And I told you guys my crutch. We have a little sounder.
Well, Johnny 2 times?
Yes.
Oh.
And I would ask my producer to play it.
Hey, Johnny 2 times.
Every time.
So you would train yourself?
No, but we would play it on the air.
Yes, but you're training yourself.
To just say, try not to do it, where you would do it 50 times a show, do it 10 times a show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons I like it. You can train yourself.
Absolutely.
Sure you can.
You can do it. This man is not prepared to speak in public. That doesn't mean he's not going to be a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that he's not going to be successful as the coach of the Eagles. But I am so surprised because he is anxious, nervous, and he talks like this, and he's so excited like this. Let me answer this question, and let me tell you about my brother, and let me tell you about, what the frick are you doing? You're behind a microphone. You got the big job.
He just loves ball.
Oh,
yeah, I'll go devil's advocate a little bit.
What a cliche.
I don't mind the enthusiasm. Look, is it boundless and is it uncontrollable right now? It appears so, because he's combining nervous energy with an enthusiasm, and it comes out like really weird.
Totally.
Exactly.
Like it comes off like really weird.
But, we get mad at the Bill Belichick type of stuff. We get mad at Andy Reid. We got mad at Doug Peterson when, come on, are you going to tell us something? Are you going to open up? This guy, not only is he open up, he came out like that snake on those things where you open up and it jumps out at you. Well, that's what he's like.
The can of nuts?
He's like, yeah, the can of thing. He's right there, and it's like, what the hell? But it's okay. He'll learn. I love the enthusiasm. He's 39 years old.
39 is not a child, Bob. He's a grown freaking man.
He hasn't. I hear you. He hasn't been in front.
39.
He hasn't been in front of a mic probably all that much, and
it shows.
His dad is a high school coach. Or his brother's a high school coach.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yes.
They've probably been in front of a mic or interviewed more often than he has, and he's the head coach of an NFL team.
Listen to. I don't even know how Nick Sirianni went off the rails talking about his brother when asked a question about his football team. This is what Nick Sirianni had to say.
We know the sign of a good coach is using the personnel. Like, I love to have a chance to brag on my brother. Like, my brother, I think, is the best football. He doesn't coach high school football anymore. But what he did at Southwestern High School was he won a state championship running the pro system. Then he had the athletes to run a spread system, and he ran the spread system, and they won a state championship. And 3 years later, he had no athletes. Sorry to any of those Southwestern kids that are listening. He had no athletes. They turned to the wing tee, ran the wing tee, and went to the stinking state championship game. They didn't win the state championship game. So, whatever. My point is, and again, I love saying that because I love my brother, and I love bragging on him. But my point is, that's a sign of a good coach.
Yes, he did. He said like 3 times in the first.
But once he got in the story, he didn't say like.
But the only thing is the
He's
story.
growing, John.
The story, Nick. If Nick was doing a talk show, if this was the Nick Sirianni show on 97.5 The Fanatic,
yeah,
and he does that, Pat, if it's the Nick Sirianni show on a Monday night during football season, and I asked him a question about getting his team prepared, does he have the right personnel and everything, and on a talk show, he said, John, let me tell you a story. My brother did this. That's totally understandable. In that press conference yesterday, first of all, Nick, take a breath.
It's all right.
Take a breath.
Youthful enthusiasm.
Somebody's got to. He's not that youthful.
He's 30. It's very youthful
for his job.
Yeah.
Here's
in the grand scheme of life. No,
I'm not saying you're acting. It's okay to be immature. I'm saying I don't mind the enthusiasm because he just doesn't know how to curtail it.
I went back because people kept saying yesterday the excuse that was being given to me on social media. Well, you remember Andy Reid? Do you remember Doug Peterson? So what did I do? Because I'm a dork. I went back.
Of course you did.
And I watched Andy Reid and Doug Peterson's first press conference, and then I watched a subsequent one that I believe would have been close to their second. Neither one of them, in any way, shape, or form, came off as unprepared as this young man. And I'm going to give him the young man thing, Bob. He came off, he appears unprepared. He appears overwhelmed. He gets very, very nervous. He may end up being a great coach, Pat. but he is the CEO of my franchise. I have hired him to be the face of my franchise. And when the bright lights are on him, and by the way, he isn't coming off a 27-7 loss to the Giants. He isn't coming off a Cowboys defeat where questionable calls lead to a loss. What is he going to do when he doesn't get softball questions from the local TV media?
Good question. I'm like sitting here and I'm like listening to it. And I'm more in the camp of Jamie where I don't put a lot of credence into press conferences because as long as he can relate to the players because he's so young, that's really all I care about. With that said, man, the first person I thought of when I'm listening to him is Shane Victorino because as you guys have said, everybody has a crutch.
You know?
And every single, it was, I think he was either, Cole Hamels was, or whatever, but it's a little concerning because how's he supposed to get his message across that if we're sitting here listening to this one press conference and that's what we're hearing, you think about him trying to fire up a locker room? Good luck.
Coach Mark Richt, back at the University of Georgia. Mark Richt would say, right. And we would literally play that exact soundbite of him saying, right. And we would play it because if you were asking him a question, Bob's interviewing him. So, Coach, you're getting ready for Tennessee this week. And Tennessee's defense is going to try to be really physical. Right. And he would be, as you're doing that. So it became a thing. And Coach Rick, it's in my head because we would play it. Jeff Francoeur, when he started his broadcast career, he would come on our show every single week. And I would say to Jeff, you said, 37 times. And say, do not say, You did it 37 times in your hit with us.
It's easy to do,
He stopped doing it, and now he's the television analyst.
Right.
You can work with it. Right. No, it's going to be a right.
I can't be a hypocrite here. What I said that it doesn't bother me all that much. He's got youthful enthusiasm and all, but I did get on Doug Peterson about his press conferences where it worried me that he couldn't think on his feet when people gave him questions maybe that he wasn't ready for after games, whatever it may be. So we have yet to see how Nick Sirianni's going to do as a head coach, but the enthusiasm, it's funny. I don't want to Bill Belichick.
We don't.
Yeah, and I want somebody that'll open up a little bit, and I just see the Philly media, kind of rubbing their hands together saying, we're going to have some fun with this.
The one question that I found very, very charming was that Nick Sirianni's press conferences, I understand the Eagles marketing department already has signed a deal. I'm giving a little scoop here. It is going to be sponsored by Chapstick. Because listen to how he kisses Howie's ass with this answer.
See the young talent on this team? I think Howie and his staff have done such a good job of getting young talent in here. And what's exciting to be able to work with the guys that are currently on this roster. These are the guys that are currently on these rosters. These are the guys that I fell in love with, a couple years ago in the draft or last year in the draft. You don't get to recruit the guys. It's oh shoot, the Eagles took them. I don't get a chance to work. I get a chance to work with them now.
That is such bullshit. Excuse my language. Thank you very much. There's a slip. That's first time ever.
That's
there
right.
you go. That was there you go. Some relying. That was my exact reaction, though. That's my exact reaction. By the way, just third time in my broadcast career. That is such.
Brings out your emotions.
Hey, Johnny 2 times.
Absolute BS.
It's time for you to shut the up.
Exactly. I can't get over it that he actually trotted that out there during a press conference.
It's okay to be enthusiastic, all of that stuff, but don't come out and just lie.
Yeah.
That is so unbelievable.
I mean, seriously,
we wanted all these players, and I get to coach them now. Isn't it exciting? We said, darn, nobody in the NFL said, wow, the Eagles took them and now we can't get them.
Yeah.
Nobody believes it, Nick. Seriously.
If it was a live press conference, I honestly think somebody might have said, Nick, real quick, who are you guys looking at?
Well, name one. Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson?
And he would have went. And, Coach, was that your
crazy
comment or was that Pat's? Nick Sirianni made me curse.
You said it.
It's only the third, and I didn't curse. I mean, that's not a curse. Father Casey would call us right now, say there are only 2 curses. JC, and GD. Those are the only. Yeah, those are the only curses. There's foul language.
That's a Catholic Church ruling.
There's foul.
That's
there's
intriguing.
Foul
I don't want to get into their rulings.
There's foul language. Yeah. But that's where we're at. Devon and Jamie tonight. Draft lines here on the Fanatic.
Looking forward to it. It means Friday night.
It means Friday night?
Yeah, it's the new tradition.
See, there you go. Coach?
I just have to tell you.
Why is he waving his hand? What's up with
it's just
him?
because I was just trying to flag you down here. So we got that. It didn't go over the air. But
okay.
Wait. Our YouTube family
Yes,
loved it. They loved it.
Well, it's pure emotion.
Yeah.
And of course, this youthful energy. That is, by the way.
So when J.J. Arcega-Whiteside got taken, everybody in the cult organization was like, damn, there goes our guy.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. If you're Nick, do not pee on our legs and tell us it's raining. That was
He peed on me.
That I can't get over that you would do that. I for the life of me, I can't believe he came out with a Howie ass kiss in a press conference. And by the way, like you, look, I wore the shirt today on purpose. I love the Eagles. The Eagles are an obsession for me.
They bring out your emotions.
My wife thinks that it is the only thing in her husband's life that makes him act like a child.
Like somebody that would curse on the radio.
Exactly. and she is. What if she hears this?
Does he get fined for this? Is there like a dollar jar or something?
And so she says it's the only thing where I act.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I allow myself to act sort of
irrationally about. Yeah.
Being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, it does that to you.
and so, I mean, it gets that energy. I want to see them succeed. And you get all the Kool-Aid drinkers yesterday going, this is just like Doug Peterson's first press conference. No, it isn't. This is just like Andy Reid's first. Andy Reid's first press conference sounded like a funeral director reading the phone book. It wasn't that.
And we went nuts after that also.
But it was for a different reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But
right?
Andy Reid, you knew was prepared. You knew he was prepared. He's rattling. Andy Reid sounded robotic in his first and non-enthusiastic.
Right.
Doug Peterson, I thought, had that same enthusiasm, but not like a puppy dog bounding out of a crate.
No, he was a veteran with enthusiasm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he also didn't seem overwhelmed at all by the cameras. Like by the moment, he wasn't overwhelmed by it.
John, he just loves ball. The microphone's a hindrance in his life.
I found that this morning, too. I found that.
He just loves
now
ball.
You know why you have to watch on Twitch and YouTube. You get the PG-13 version. No, PG version.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Of this.
That made me laugh a lot.
I mean, seriously.
The hokey mouth came out of you.
I thought I heard something yesterday listening at home that I did hear incorrectly. And then today, I heard you say that, and I looked at you, and I swear to God, my head was like, Am I just dream this?
By the way, get world-famous wings that you know and you love for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. So you watched some hoops last night?
I took UCLA +2. Got a little funny money for my pockets today to
So
lose.
can we finally put to bed?
We're going out after what?
Listen, it's January, February, Izzo. Have you ever had people say that to you?
No.
What's it? January, February, Izzo. That it's tournament time, so Izzo's the genius. This is one of the worst coaching jobs with the talent he has. It's some of the worst coaching I've ever seen for Tom Izzo. It's probably his worst coaching job ever.
I mean, the fact that he was in a play-in game is,
but you
not
know
a
what,
good
though?
year.
You know what's weird with that, though, is he lost all these games. You know he beat 2 number 1 teams and the number 2 team and a number 2 team this year? That team that was in a play-in game
that's bizarre.
had enough talent to beat 2 number 1 teams and a number 2 team.
That
and
is
then
weird.
soiled themselves like that. So,
well, got me some money.
There you go. Good
That's all we care about.
Are you going to give more of those tips, like sort of like Bears and Bob?
I was throwing darts at the board last night.
Right.
I didn't know, but I'm going to do some research today for sure.
Hey, Natural Lawn of America is safer for your lawn, kids, and pets. You can schedule their full-service program and get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. You know what you should do, Egan, is just insert a few bleeps in the course of the day today because Nick Siriani gets that
Now, John doesn't curse off the air,
No.
let alone on the air, and we get a BS out of him. We're talking Nick Siriani.
No, I don't.
I love it.
It's weird. Is my daughter will tell you, I think she's heard her father in 17 years curse twice.
My mom heard my dad in 38 years of marriage curse one time.
My kids heard me curse about 80 times yesterday because my back was hurting so bad.
All right, we got a lot coming up for you, including I want to hear from you. Are you up early? You want to share an opinion on it? And you know what? If you think we're completely incorrect on this or I'm too over top, give it to us. 610-632-0975. It's the John Kincaid Show, and you're listening here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, you know, Hooters is the official hangout for wings and beer, Hooters girls, and game day. And you can play hooky at Hooters, watching all the basketball action this season with the Hooters girls. I want you to enjoy some ice cold beer, some great seafood, and Hooters famous wings. Absolutely, whatever style you want. If you need a wing fix, you can get all of your Hooters menu items to go at HootersToGo.com. So if you want to bring the party back to your place, Hooters has got the world famous wings that you know, and you love them. They're available for pickup or delivery, whether you like them naked or otherwise. Visit HootersToGo.com to place your order today. The world-famous wings, traditional or boneless, breaded or naked, always fresh made just for you. And if wings aren't your thing, Hooters offers a wide variety of sandwiches, salads, and seafood too. And the fried pickles, I think they're a must. Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. Visit northeasthooters.com to find the location nearest you.
The John Kincaid Show.
You're a middle-aged man. You can't be a DJ.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Every day, someone comes up to me and says, Amy, how amazing is Xfinity Internet? And I always say, guys, I could go on and on about how it gives you more than just fast speeds for all your work, school, and everything from home needs, but I have places to be. And then I'd also mention you get reliable in-home Wi-Fi coverage and protection from network threats, but I gotta run. I have a thing. Really, it happens all the time. Can your internet do that?
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $39.99 a month for 12 months with no term contract required and get advanced security free with the X-Fi Gateway. Just activate through the Xfinity app. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/20/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Pro Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply.
Since there was no basketball tournament last March, Unibet is offering twice the sign-up bonus this year. Get $40 free and $500 risk-free. With twice the bonus, go twice as hard. Woo! Watch on 2 screens. Woohoo, yeah! On 2 couches. Both cheeks. And place twice the bets. Bonus! Get $40 free and $500 risk-free. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If this warmer weather has you looking for a new vehicle, maybe a nice convertible, you'll find it at North Penn Mazda on Route 309 in Colmar. Check out the gorgeous brand new state-of-the-art showroom. Enjoy incredible lease deals, low financing offers, and other incentives. And North Penn Mazda is ready to serve you wherever you're comfortable, whether that's on the phone, online, or in person in the brand new showroom. Find your next Mazda at North Penn Mazda. The right experience, the right choice. NorthPennMazda.com.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
So many razors. How do you choose? Dollar Shave Club has a premium 6-blade cartridge designed for daily shavers and a 4-blade cartridge that's for less frequent shavers. And they put both blades in one new starter box. So now you can test drive both. If only it was that easy to choose your bracket every March. At least when it comes to razors, they got you. For more info, visit dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. That's dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. And check out DSC at your nearest store. You got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
You run a business and you need better wireless. 3 words, no more compromise. With the T-Mobile Business Advantage, you get the largest 5G network, award-winning customer support, and insanely great value. No trade-offs. Right now, get up to 90 days of unlimited free on business plans when you switch via bill credits. Stop in to find out more. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Complete port within 60 days. Customers over 50 gigabytes per month have lower speeds during congestion. Video at 480p unlimited on our network. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices coverage and plan details.
Here's the good news. Even with high unemployment, there's still a need for hundreds of thousands of cybersecurity professionals in the U.S. right now. And My Computer Career is training people to help meet the demand. No IT experience? No problem. Take the free career evaluation today at mycomputercareer.edu. Start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? If you're looking for your engine to run a little smoother, some fuel system cleaner could help. Right now, we have buy one, get one free on Chevron Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Plus, AutoZone Rewards members get a $1 bonus reward. Not a member? Don't worry. Joining is easy, and you can even earn an extra $5 bonus reward when you join with a valid email. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
Hello? We just made your listening experience easier. 97.5 The Fanatic is now on radio.com. Radio.com. Check it out now.
Gotta tell you, you want to get the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. It is absolutely awesome. And with all the games coming today and Saturday and Sunday and Monday, you're going to want to be prepared to be able to use the in-game wagering. Because every one of you runs your mouth. Well, I know I do. Thinking you got an angle on this team or this game or a hunch on this. Well, put a couple bucks on it. Makes the game even more exciting. And right now, if you download the Parks Casino Sportsbook app, download it, you can get a risk-free bet up to $500 when you use the promo code FANATIC. Do you think you know the ending to the tournament before it even begins? Bet the favorite, Gonzaga. For $100, you can win $250. Bet the other favorite, Baylor. $100 wins you $275. If you like fantasy sports, you're going to love all the future bets, and you're going to love the in-game wagering. Get on it today. You're going to want to be a part of this. Have it. Risk-free bet up to $500. The Parks Casino Sportsbook app. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, back to the John Kincaid Show.
No, your radio's not broken. We sound like this on purpose.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
That's complete.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
He's going home. He's all.
He is jacked up today.
I'm excited to go home.
Yeah, he is jacked up.
JD asked, did Betty put soap on your tongue or pepper when you cursed? Dishwashing liquid on a paper towel.
Oh, really? I remember the first time I got caught.
Twice in my life. Dishwashing liquid on a paper towel in my mouth, like on my tongue, in my mouth.
Can you taste it as you're talking about it?
I can remember it. Yeah. I know this. The lessons that I was taught, which today I guess would get you, child abuse would be brought in. They taught me lessons. I remember when we were kids in like 7th grade, and then we would play in the backyard, and we were having a street hockey match, and every one of us would say it hit the effing post. Like everybody
Gene
suspected Don Earl.
Don Earl
supposedly said that, which he didn't. But every time we'd hit the
bleeping
we
post,
would say, it hit the... And my mom opened that front door, and she goes, if you... And, of course, Betty, in all Betty, if I hear you say it hit the effing post one more time, see what happens. That was enough to stop that little tradition.
Yeah.
That didn't happen much.
I never got it as a kid, but I gave it once as a parent.
You did? To who?
Yeah,
which child?
The oldest, Bobby. Bobby
well,
has
you
a
got
big
your name.
As a little kid, he had a huge personality, and he would it got to the point where it was getting bad. So I got red pepper flake.
Ooh.
And I said, here, open up. And I put it on his tongue. And the overreact, he was like an overactor as a kid. He went crazy. I think it was on there for maybe a quarter of a second.
Hey, today's show is being taken over by our friends at Hooters.
Hell yeah.
If you need a wing fix, get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. Okay, let's get this down here because I see on YouTube, before we get started here, I see Chris is pointing out, Chris is doing the false narrative argument, and it annoys the living hell out of me. Chris is doing, I just don't understand how talking at a presser determines that you're a bad coach. Chris, I'll give you $100 if at any time any one of us said Nick Siriani is a bad coach. So stop with the false arguments. Stop making stuff up. No one has said he's a bad coach. But I can tell you this. If I'm hiring someone to be my CEO of my franchise, the face of my franchise, the leader, the public voice, public face, they had better be able to handle themselves in front of a microphone or in front of a camera better than that. And he had a month in a bunker to prepare for it. No one said he's a bad coach. But it makes you wonder, what could he have possibly done in a job interview that made someone say, of all the candidates we're talking to, he's the guy. He's the guy we got to get. By the way, did any other franchises interview Nick Siriani for a head coach? I'll hang up and listen. So please, stop with the false arguments. Nobody said he's a bad coach, but it makes me concerned. Does make me concerned. Bob, I was concerned yesterday, and in the Cooney's Corner, I can tell you, you're back. It was a problem for all of us.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
All right, so, yeah, I have a wonky back, and it leads sometimes to some discomfort. And it even led to me missing a show yesterday. But it's the cross I have to bear, right? Everybody has stuff wrong, whatever. It's okay, no big deal. But who's the athlete? Who's the athlete that was put out there for way too many years? And, John, I'll give an example that only you're going to get. When I was a little kid, the Eagles had an offensive lineman. And every time there was a holding call, and the Eagles were horrible when we were little kids, right?
They were horrible.
Every time there was a flag, my dad would be sitting there, and he would get so annoyed, he would start reading the paper, and you would hear flag on the play, and my dad would go, holding Ed George, holding Ed George. It was holding number 64. For years, this guy was on the Eagles' offensive line, and for years he had 3 or 4 holding penalties a game. So it was a cross you had to bear because they had nobody else. So, like my back, what's the cross? Who's the cross that you've had to bear as far as a Philly player goes during your lifetime?
Mike Mamula.
Oh, that's a good one.
When you could have had Warren Sapp.
But he smoked weed in college, John.
Isn't that great? Yeah. He's done a lot more since, by the way. Crazy man. But
Mike Mamula's a good one.
Mike Mamula.
And he was here for a little bit.
Everybody with quarterback pressures.
Almost.
He was almost.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't remember the statistic of quarterback pressures before that era of the NFL. Maybe I'm incorrect.
I swear to you, I was going to say, I think that stat was invented with Mike Mamula in mind.
Because everybody tried to justify the Eagles' excuse makers. Tried to justify, well, Mamula's not that bad. He's always really close.
Yeah.
Really close doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's one that I thought of immediately.
Now, he was across here for 5 years, so that's a really good one. Seemed like 20.
The first person, I'm just going to go with my gut on this exercise. The first person that comes to mind is currently playing, and it's becoming torture for me to watch him.
I know.
Who?
Is it Jason Peters and all the injuries?
No. He's on the ice.
Ooh. Ghost.
It's becoming like I get angry reactions now watching it. And I don't like I don't enjoy watching them play right now, and he's the one that jumps out in neon to me. And it drives me insane.
Interesting.
Pat, you have anybody that's a...
Yeah, I wrote down a few here.
Oh, he's got a list.
Yeah, so I got a couple guys that are still playing. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Does he even play, though?
And that's the thing. That's what annoys me. It's
okay.
like a second-round pick, and every single week. And, Jamie, you're part of the problem because...
Whoa.
You are.
He's part of every problem.
Because I sign on to Twitter every Sunday during the NFL season, and you're the one who's tweeting about what DK Metcalf did. And
I don't do that anymore.
Thank you.
I've matured.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
A guy that...
I don't believe you've matured.
A guy that Jamie waxed poetic about. Jalen Mills. I'm sorry. Thank God he's gone.
Get out of here.
Thank God. Wagging his finger. Robert Esch on the ice. Having to be told that Robert Esch was a good goalie when he was terrible and he had a save percentage that was awful, but the defense was so good.
Was it like 88?
It wasn't as bad as 88, but it wasn't good.
He had a neck beard, too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a good KHL career. Adam Eaton on the mound.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then in the Sixers, Hollis Thompson.
Hollis Thomas?
Hollis Thompson.
Hollis Thompson
Georgetown University.
Had a 4-year,
I love Hollis.
He had a 4-year NBA career that should have been about a 4-minute NBA career, but it was a charity case the Sixers gave him. And then even after they released him, they still allowed him to work out in the facility. It was a joke.
I would tell you,
Still mad about it.
I would tell you, Brett Brown. Brett Brown made me dislike a franchise that I've always liked. He made me want to turn off a team that I wanted, and I never paid attention to the Sixers with the same passion that I paid attention to the Eagles or the Phillies. But he made me want to turn it off.
Yeah, a lot of people felt that way about that. Mine goes back a little bit. It was an Eagles cornerback who had a nickname.
Izell Jenkins?
Izell Jenkins.
I knew it had to be.
Toast. I mean, my God. I don't go to a bunch of Eagles games, especially since I had kids, when they were younger. I didn't want to take them, and I didn't want to be out of the house for 8 hours, on a Sunday. But when I was going to games, Izell Jenkins, before I got married, so he was a cornerback that you just sat there and say, what the hell is this guy still doing in the game?
And how long did he
And
have?
it was
Did he
years.
5 years? 6
He
years?
was probably at least 4.
I mean, I'll check.
least.
But, oh, my God, it was just a guy like, you can't do any better than Izell Jenkins?
To that vein, Mark Simoneau drove me nuts.
Really?
He was probably a little better than my memory serves, but I always remember his short little alligator arms and the ball always just going right over.
Izell Jenkins, 5 years.
Okay, so it's the same thing. It's sort of like the Mamula thing, where you think, why is this going on for 5 years? Like, why is this continuing to go on?
Yes.
Do they not know what we know?
It's funny, right? But and we sit there and we watch it and we say, oh my God, why is this guy still out there?
The only Philly athlete that was really excellent that I ever got there with was Jason Peters the last couple years. Because I was just waiting for the play in the game in the second quarter, the third quarter, where Jason Peters would lay on the ground and writhe in pain and then limp off. And I, at that point, was saying, let's move on from this.
Yeah.
Move on. And then they, re-up for another year. Re-up for another year.
We got a great one on the diamond from a tweeter, Austin Samuel. And I think everyone will agree with this. Vinny Velo.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotten there. I was going to say it's getting there, but it's gotten there.
It is. It's
because he shows you flashes of having stuff, but then can never put it together.
14 strikeouts in a game.
Now, you see, it's funny.
7 years ago.
That's where I look at Zach Eflin. Same thing.
Now he's going to be good.
This is the year,
So
Derek.
I see the same thing. I keep hearing that. That's what I heard last year, too.
Although
We're so tied to Eflin.
He's got a wonky back, too.
Oh, and he's going to be a dad now, so now it all works.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we do this same conversation in about 3 years, John's bringing up Zach Eflin.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm not.
Hopefully not Carter Hart, too.
Hopefully I am coming in here and saying I was absolutely wrong. That would be great. Hooters, if you need a wing fix, get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. So if you don't want to go out and hang out in public, bring it on home. Today's show being taken over by Hooters. And as Coach points out, it's also being taken over by the FCC. After my initial reaction.
We're going to get an email about this?
People are wondering.
We're not all in trouble, right? It's just John.
Just John, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
This is where we saw him down the river.
Now, the thing is, though, is that has to be kept because, Egan, that's the kind of stuff that I would like to see end up. We would do a segment called the Audio Fun Bag every week in Atlanta on Matt and Chuck's show, where they would ridicule anyone on staff for the stupid things that they did behind the microphone. Now, I understand around this place we maybe need to be a little more sensitive and walk on pity-pat toes.
I'm fair game.
We all are, right? We all raise our hands.
Absolutely.
So, Pat, anytime you would like to put together something like that, if we ever want to do that, stupid stuff, everyone in this room raises our hand and says, feel free, make fun of us, mock us. We can handle.
Well, a few more of those drops and those slip ups, and we're going to play a game called "Did John Kincaid Curse or Not?"
That's not bad. That's only the third time dump button career.
That's not bad.
Third time.
You're okay.
Nick Siriani got me, though.
Coach might have the best cross that he...
Coach, you haven't enjoyed anything in the 11 weeks of this show. You haven't enjoyed anything better than me cursing on the air.
It made my day. So when we hit the dump button for any reason, I get an email with the audio of what went over the air and what didn't go over the air.
Right.
I already made that my John Kincaid text message alert.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
So anytime you text me,
that is complete. Unbelievable.
Coach, what's your biggest cross to bear?
Egan.
Pat Egan.
I get that a lot.
That is good. That is good. That's what your wife texted in.
Hey, my wife, my mom.
She texted in too. So
my dad.
By the way, T-Dog, it's just awesome. Love T-Dog.
No.
Yeah, she's back in our good graces.
She's back in the good graces because
coffee cake.
You guys speak for yourself.
I told my wife the other day, I said, man, T-Dog made some great coffee cake. It was great coffee cake. And she goes, well, that's not a healthy breakfast.
No.
And I said, what are you talking about? You're not here. Like, you're not here. No comment.
I followed it up with ice cream.
It's a miracle that I'm not like 300 pounds because not only my dad can bake too. My dad is a really good cook. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Do we need to have
a cook-off?
Parents do not.
They don't really get along.
Your parents aren't together.
It's not.
Your parents aren't together anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of scarred from them having face-offs, if you will. So I'm good.
How about a divorce cook-off?
Sponsored by Cordell and Cordell. Michelle Ferrari.
We do this.
We have Michelle Ferrari coming as the judge.
Michelle Ferrari,
licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
A divorce cook-off where each of them gets to supply us with like a dessert, an entree, and an appetizer. So we figure out which one of your parents we love more.
Cooking for Pat's heart.
I don't know if the dump button, I don't know if we have enough of that for that segment.
We need to hear what response you get from what parent off of this if they heard us just talking about it.
Yes, I think that would be a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Because divorce court is a game that I really would enjoy playing. Like where you pin divorce couples.
Oh, it's fun, John.
No, divorce couples that have learned to
be amicable.
You put them because usually they're hyper competitive with each other.
Yeah, I bet.
They want to be the better parent. Like being, Jamie's hyper competitive with Bob. He always wants the linchpin to be better, and he loves that a rivalry is born.
This is the linchpin.
Yeah, usually rivalries are geographic, but sometimes they form new ones when you have great teams. And I think Giannis took it up a level the other night. I think Joel Embiid was sitting on that bench the entire game going, I got these chumps. We got them. And he was probably stewing, wishing he was out there. And then Giannis goes and sits down on the court. And I have to imagine Joel Embiid made a deposit in the motivation tank.
Little in the head.
And I think that
First
could...
of all, he's a nobody.
I think it could bear fruits come playoff time. I think these two are on a collision course for a second-round matchup. I feel good about how they match up with Milwaukee, but I think they have a new rival in the East, and I'm really looking forward to this.
I admire, in a strange way, the fact that you got a guy who amps up the rivalry.
Yeah. I always love it. You need a heel.
Yeah.
I think he did it for his fan base.
Sure.
And I did it for his teammates.
Yeah.
We're going to meet these guys down the stretch. That was calculated, no matter what anyone will try to tell me.
And the cheesesteak afterwards, just adding to it.
All calculated.
So if you're his coach, Giannis's coach, or if you're Doc Rivers, Mike Budenholzer, how do you handle that?
I think you mispronounced that, John.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you just, if you're Budenholzer, do you just kind of let it go, or do you bring it up? Like, yo, dude, not a good idea. Or is it just part of the NBA,
He might. Somebody
it.
like Giannis, 2-time MVP, might just have the keys to the kingdom.
I'd shut my mouth if I was Budenholzer. I would absolutely do that.
I literally looked at when he did it and went, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Not good.
It'll be
Not
great
good.
for the playoff series should they meet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
I hope they meet.
I want them to meet now.
7 of those?
Yeah. And not to mention, I texted you about it. You didn't write me back. That hurt my feelings. Did you see
his
the
back? He was writhing in pain.
Yeah. Did you see the dirty ass play he did against Dwight Howard?
I didn't. I think that's why I didn't.
Oh,
you
man.
said it was a 2-hand push in the chest.
It was not even close to a basketball play.
I wanted to rewind, but I wasn't feeling great.
Yeah,
at that point,
they're ramping it up. I mean, that was a physical game the other night, and I can't wait for this Milwaukee Sixers new rivalry.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I am totally with. And the way
all
Milwaukee's
in.
bench was acting, and I'm not putting it down. That's great. I love enthusiasm.
Yeah,
I
I
love
thought
it
it
all.
was Duke's bench.
But
I thought Wojo was at the end waving a towel.
But
they look like a bunch of children.
If I'm a Sixers, I'm kind of like pointing. Yeah, our best player's over there in slippers. So
it tells me that Milwaukee might fear the Sixers a little bit.
They should.
And the slippers.
They look comfy.
I'm a man who wears Uggs.
I have Ugg slippers.
I don't wear them.
So do I.
The Ugg shoes. I have them in my closet, though, personally given to me by Tom Brady.
Wait, like the boots or shoes?
They are shoes.
Okay.
They're the shoes.
You're not wearing like
but
the
they're
yoga pants, North Face,
but they're like
college girl
ankle
outfit.
high, but they're like ankle high, and they have the fur inside.
Okay.
And Tom Brady at a event. I went to an event where Tom Brady invited media.
They're nice
and all
shoes.
stuff. Yes.
They make nice boots.
So I've got my Tom Brady Uggs. I will wear them one day when you call for it. It's probably going to be too warm to wear them.
I just don't need
now.
to see you in those shin high boots that they make that every college girl wears.
Or
on
the
camera.
fur on the outside. No,
that would be
Those
something.
are the best
boots-
slippers ever.
Oh,
the
they're
boots
like
I'm not a
with the
slippers
fur
guy.
and the apple bottom jeans. No, you
No,
won't.
please
no.
never. Get that mental image out of my
This
head.
report sponsored by Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Speeding puts you, your passengers, and others on the road at risk. Slow down, save a life, be safe, PA. More at penn.gov/safety. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars. So, in fact, we just paid for that. The Flyers win last night.
Weird.
And it was still a weird way to win, but they won. And for 2 periods, I'm thinking, I'm so proud of the way this team responded. That was incredible. Coming off a 9-0 game, and you respond like that. And then in the third period, Depends by Undergarments sponsors the third period. They were terrible. And they showed the mental fragility again. But Oscar, good job.
Yeah.
Saved a win. That was a big win last night. That's one may have stemmed the tide to save the season.
I was going to text you last night about this because as I'm watching that shift where they scored the first goal, where Lindblom scored,
Sure.
but it was a great shift before he scored. And I'm watching, I'm saying, wow, they're really turning the game around on one shift right here. Like, you could just see the energy grow and grow and grow. And then when they take the 3-0 lead, I thought, wow, that shift may, and I'm not this guy.
No, but you're thinking.
I'm thinking, could that be a thing where we look at towards the end of the season and say that was the turning point? That shift, that period, getting up 3-0, but then in the third period, they kind of showed more of who they really are, ? So it's like, I think that's your season in a nutshell. Can be this good, but aren't that good.
They're so mentally fragile. And one of the goals in the third period was terrible on Carter's part. I don't think the other two, Pat, didn't bother me.
No.
One of them was terrible.
And I was sitting there last night.
The tying goal was terrible.
Yeah, I was sitting there last night going, okay, the Islanders are so good. They're not going to get shut out. Problem is you let them, open the door a little bit, and then they busted it open. With all of that said, though, I think the best sign of last night was the fact that Oscar Lindblom, who was healthy scratch the night before, is the guy who busts out. And that's what AV's been waiting for him where he has a big game with a game-winning goal. I mean, that you build off that.
Let's hope they build off it. I say win one of the next two, and win 2 out of 3 from the Islanders, and I'll feel really good about it. So we got a lot coming up as the show continues today. We hope you're going to hang out with us on this fantastic Friday. Does defense win championships? Well, we are about to find out here in the city of Philadelphia. We'll talk about it next as the 7 o'clock hour begins. Hang out with us. It's been a little bit of a wild start to the show today. You never know if I'm going to curse again. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I've got the Parx Casino Sportsbook app fired up, ready to go. Why? Because we've got wall-to-wall hoops action coming your way. And the Parx Casino Sportsbook app is absolutely awesome. And you can get a risk-free bet up to $500. You download the Parx Casino Sportsbook app or go to parxcasino.com and use the promo code FANATIC. Now, you get so many different ways that you can wager this tournament. You can decide that you would like to do a futures bet. If you believe there's such good chalk in this tourney and you think one of the two teams like Baylor or Gonzaga is going to win, then just put some cash down on it now. Or you may want to manipulate the tournament game by game. You might even want in-game wagering on a game that you're watching. Throw a couple bucks on it, adds a little more excitement to it. And with that risk-free bet, there's no reason now for you not to try the Parx Casino Sportsbook app. You get that risk-free bet up to $500. The Parx Casino Sportsbook app. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
Listen, I like kids, but this is not a kid's environment. This is like HBO. No limits.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Today's John Kincade Show takeover is brought to you by Hooters. Need a wing fix? Get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Gargano. Life's coming at us hard these days, right? We go 100 miles an hour. We feel stressed, run down. We're dehydrated, get headaches, body aches. We're working overtime to try to protect ourselves from getting sick. So I needed a positive way to recharge and refuel. Enter Exiva Vitamin Infusion Therapy. It's been a game changer for me. I love it. Imagine flooding your body with these vitamins, nutrients, amino acids, and hydration you need to boost your immune system, elevate your mood and your energy level, and replenish your reserves in under an hour. We're talking vitamins, nutrients, and hydration administered by a board-certified nurse at one of Exiva's modern infusion suites. It's amazing. I felt incredible. And I received my infusion, got a flat screen TV. I was reading. It was relaxing. Learn more about Exiva's vitamin therapies at Exiva.com. That's AXIVA.com. Exiva. Replenish, recharge, relief.
Hey, sports fans. Before there was the step over, the strip sack, the long fly ball, or the Philly special, Colonial Hyundai was providing a faster, easier, better way to buy a new vehicle. Hi, it's John Ashow, the Car Czar from Colonial Hyundai of Downingtown. This month at Colonial, we're celebrating over 2 decades of serving our community during our 20th anniversary sales event. All month long, we're celebrating by offering the best prices of the year. During this event, save up to 30% off any new Hyundai in stock. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, which only Colonial will double during this event to 20 years, 200,000 miles. Save big with exclusive offers from Colonial Hyundai of Downingtown, like a new 2021 Elantra SE for just $99 per month. Don't miss this event, the Colonial Hyundai of Downingtown 20th anniversary sales event. Plan your visit at colonialhyundai.com. Colonial Hyundai of Downingtown, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
Hyundai Elantra SE based on 36-month lease through HMF. Stock number H200121. Lease cash down $2,299 plus tax and tag. Financing through HMF. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for full details.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Experience March like never before because fans are welcome at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You can bet the bracket and watch every game live all tournament long on our 52-foot LED media wall display. And with tons of betting kiosks, you won't miss a thing waiting in line. Treat yourself like a #1 seed. Get off the bench and into the action at FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Your home for college hoops all tournament long. Must be 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, but you have to check out Kohl's.
The athleisure styles we've all been living in, they're on sale. I saved on a Champion sweatshirt for my daughter, got an $11.99 Vans tee for my son, and picked up Adidas sneakers for my husband. Plus, I got 20% off and Kohl's Cash. So I'm totally going back for those Sonoma jeans. You know, for when I actually want to wear jeans again. Select styles, 20% offer ends March 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig. With the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. And with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next. And bounce forward. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business and powered by Intel Core processors. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
There's no such thing as a sure bet on an illegal website. Illegal betting sites are accountable to no one. That puts you and your money at risk. Why play these odds when Pennsylvania offers legal online betting for those who want to wager? Legal sites pay out your winnings, ensure fair play, and support responsible gaming. That benefits you and Pennsylvania's economy. Visit bettersafe.org/PA for information. That's BETTOR safe.org/PA to learn more. Don't be sorry. Be better safe.
There are days like today where I'm very happy that I've got my T-Mobile phone because I know I'm going to have to travel. So I know I'm going to want to check the traffic on the way to the airport, depending on how much time I've got to leave in advance. I want to be able to check in for my flight, use the flight apps. I want to be able to see what is going to happen once I get there and be able to use a ride service. I use my phone for everything. And T-Mobile with the best network. So whether I'm here or whether I'm traveling all over the country, I know that T-Mobile's network backbone is going to keep me connected every single time. And if you're in the 55 and up crowd, you're going to love the new Magenta 55 Plus plan. It includes Netflix, 2 lines, unlimited data, just $70 a month, and they throw in Netflix. So you can chill out and enjoy that too with autoplay. You will love being a T-Mobile customer, much like me. I've been one for a long, long time. Check out T-Mobile.com on the web or call 1-800-T-Mobile today.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincade Show.
Yes, I'm a seasoned broadcaster, but I've also got a fine head of hair.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Your Downingtown Whippets. That's how we hit the ice, Pat.
Who sang this? You remember?
Devo.
Very good.
And then we would proceed to kick everybody's backside.
Mm-hmm.
Especially LaSalle.
Yeah, those punks.
Back in the day.
I remember a guy in Polk High School who used to talk just like this.
Al Bundy.
Oh, you know him too.
Oh, Bundy. I love Al Bundy. Absolutely love him. Ed O'Neill. I will give Bill a retweet. He sent it to Jamie and I. He said Nick Siriani could substitute the word like before every sentence with not for nothing. And it would flow much better in our insane minds. Yeah, it would, Bill. You are correct. That is a funny line, so you get the retweet. And we greatly appreciate all of you joining us here for the John Kincade Show. And the sportsbook app that I choose, the Parks Casino Sportsbook app, brings you the 7 o'clock hour of the show. You can download it at parkscasino.com/PA, use the promo code FANATIC, and get that risk-free bet up to $500. And you're going to need that for the tournament, which is a great way to start. So, are we to believe that defense wins championships? If we want to dream of a 76ers championship parade, we better. Because as currently constituted, I've got great belief now that the Sixers can get a chance to win a conference title. The loss versus Milwaukee the other night, still impressive in more parts than just the disappointing finale. That stifling defensive effort without Joel in the mix tells me on any night this team can dial it up and create that, I guess, negativity on the other side in their heads. I wonder, though, if that's enough to get you past the Nets. I also am left to question whether this team has enough offensive options. So now Daryl Morey is going to get the chance to manipulate this roster over the next week. I don't see a blockbuster move coming. I really don't. So can defense dump the Nets and then handle the Western Conference champions? What's your gut feel today? I still feel like they might be a few roster moves away if you're talking about winning a championship, the big one. I really like the way this franchise is going, though, and I think I'm okay with just staying the course. And that's where we begin the 7 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show with Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, and the coach Eric Camille. Bob, I got to tell you, I think I'm fine staying the course. That this team, with Joel coming back healthy, I'm okay with taking their chances in the Eastern Conference.
I wouldn't mind a piece or two. Blockbuster, I don't see the Sixers giving up a whole bunch. I don't see a Matisse Thybulle going anywhere.
Thank you.
Maxey might even surprise me a little bit, but if it brings in somebody like some of the names we've mentioned before, Milwaukee made a nice move the other day by picking up P.J. Tucker. That was a nice move, and it's a rugged defensive guy. Yeah. So where do you go if you're the Sixers? And this is what we were thinking of the other night. Their defense was awesome the other night. So do you add to that? Do you add to your strength and go out and get another defensive guy? Maybe a wing guy that can shoot a little bit and can play some defense? Or do you say, okay, that's taken care of. Let's get a scorer off of the bench. I think things are going to change. Matisse Thybulle is probably going to have to start if Seth Curry misses some time, right? Is that something that Doc Rivers is looking at and saying, Seth coming off the bench and giving me some points with a Shake Milton who has been struggling a little bit lately. That might be neat. You start your best starting defensive team right off the bat. It'll be interesting. But the problem with Thybulle is he plays at such a high energy level defensively that he could get himself into foul trouble if minutes are extended too much. So
I want offense, Jamie.
Yeah, I hear you.
I want another offensive weapon.
I want a veteran scorer on the bench unit. And if that comes from adding somebody to the starting five and bumping Seth out, that's fine with me. But Shake has been a little shaky as of late. So I have some slight hesitations of him being the guy that can get you the buckets needed come playoff time. I think he'll be all right, but I would like a insurance policy to that. But you bring up the defensive thing. So I pulled up since 2000 the offensive and defensive net ratings of the eventual champion. And the net rating always falls basically within the top 5 of each. But
the championship team finishes top 5 in both?
Yeah. So more often than not, though, the defensive net rating is higher, or you have a better chance of being a champion with a higher defensive net. There are some dips in the offensive net ratings. So I do think defense is very important. And if you're going to go up against Brooklyn, I think the Sixers have as good a shot as anybody because of that defense.
Pat, he brings something to the table, though, there where you got to be top 5 in both.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to add something, don't the Sixers have to add offense then?
Yeah, I think they're in a good spot to add offense because their defense is so good. I mean, to me, it's clear that their defense is already elite. They don't need to really worry about that. If you want to add another defender off the bench, fine, whatever. But I think they need another 2-guard to have Seth maybe go to the bench. Shake is struggling. I mean, I don't know, and I'll ask Bob, what's easier to find on the trade market this time of year? Is it
veteran? Are you talking about veteran buyout? Or are you talking about
I'm talking trade market. Is it offense or is it defense? Because I would hope that the answer is it's harder to find defense so that the offense is a surplus. But
Yeah, I think you can find guys that can fill it a little bit easier than you can find guys that are, and I don't want to say elite defenders, but that are really, really good defenders. If I had to lean towards a guy, because of the way this team is constructed, I think I would lean towards a guy for that second unit that can fill it up a little bit offensively,
Same.
even if his defense might be a little iffy. You can change that pattern that way. But this team, I do feel that this. Look, Shake Milton, I don't want to say he's getting on my nerves.
Has
but
he hit the wall?
Something's up with him.
He took
I think
15,
he's hit the wall.
I think he's. Now, I have talked to some insiders, and Doc Rivers rides Shake Milton as much as he rides anybody, according to some people that I've talked to. And I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm saying a teaching way. He's on him, whatever. But Shake Milton has like a laissez-faire attitude kind of on the floor. It's very loose. It's 15 shots in 20 minutes. That's what he got the other night. That's like, yeah, you go ahead. I don't mind that, and I think that's what Doc is doing, but I do think he needs to be reeled in a little bit because he's getting a little too nonchalant out there.
Hey, you may not always need a new water heater, but when you do, I would appreciate if you would choose Bradford White water heaters. We absolutely love Bradford White.
So I was just curious and diving a little deeper. So only 4 of the last 20 years have yielded an NBA champion outside of a combined top 5 net rating. The Sixers right now currently...
Well, offensively, I'm going to guess.
Take a guess.
9th.
Bob?
That's a good guess, I think, John. I'll go like 8th.
Pat?
I'll go 6th.
They're 14th.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Defensive net rating, they're 2nd. So they're kind of an outlier right now.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, there's one team that was, I think, 10th in net rating offensively that ended up winning, but they need to dive in deeper into these stats. I would say an offensive bench piece is more important than a defensive.
Great job on your part, Jamie, on the
on the fly.
He was awesome. He's got charts and everything. Pies and charts.
Basketballpornhub.com.
No, he heard it was pie.
Yeah,
that's why he went to the website.
It started with lemon meringue pie, and then I ended up here.
He's an analytical nerd over here.
I'm telling you.
So yeah, I would. An offensive bench piece, I think, is most needed.
How about this? The defensive piece. Okay, if you were going to make a small trade and you were going to make a veteran buyout, like someone off the veteran buyout market, the veteran buyout market is where I would suspect, and I may be incorrect, that's where you would find guys who could score more easily. Is that true?
Yeah, I agree. And, well, think of it. Anybody that's out, when you go to your second unit in the NBA, the first subject you're approaching is offense. There's not many teams, if any, in the history of the league that say, you know what, we got to get that second unit in there to play us some defense.
So does that make the case that Matisse should be in the starting 5?
You know,
I don't want that this year.
I don't think
but I may
do
consider
either.
it next year.
Yeah.
I almost consider that being
It's been crossing my mind more than I ever thought it would.
You know who was early on this? It was Anthony. Anthony has said since the beginning of the year that he thought Matisse should be in the starting lineup, and I didn't agree with them. As the season's going on here a little bit, maybe your offensive piece off the bench that you're talking about, John, is already here.
Yeah.
And that could be, and Cuz has. It's funny, as it's in my notes here, is that Cuz was talking about that before I worked at this radio station.
Yeah,
monitoring it, Cuz was into that.
My only concern is, look, Danny Green irritates me, and Seth can be irritating sometimes as well. But the spacing they create, I don't know if Matisse gets that same respect.
That's a great point, because you don't want to take anything away from Joel Embiid.
Yeah, and Joel's thriving because Seth and Danny give him so much spacing.
Why don't you get some world-famous wings? You know you love them. And you know you're going to be watching hoops all weekend. Visit HootersToGo.com. That's HootersToGo.com. And we want to thank JD, one of our fine family on YouTube. He got a Bradford White water heater installed on Wednesday.
Oh, good man.
He said 10 years ago was the last one, and he wanted it changed before they had problems.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in that same boat.
Great job,
pretty
JD.
soon.
Me too.
We love it when you do it. You're gonna do the same thing.
John. I'm sorry to derail for 1 second. I just think it's very important that
you pictures of pie now.
You see Pat Egan's most recent Photoshop that just hit our show account.
Oh, it's not a Photoshop. I just found a photo.
Oh,
of
I'm
John.
sorry. He found your.
That is good. I like that. The boots with the fur.
Yeah.
The boots with the fur.
It's a good look for you, Johnny.
And the apple bottom jeans, baby.
I'm highly creeped out by this picture.
Pat has
the best.
Seriously? Egan, I got to tell you, it might be your best week.
It's been strong for him.
Should I retire?
Yes.
The thing is, remember Costanza?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go on high note.
T-Bone. Exactly.
Because next week I'm going to get called into a meeting.
Because this might. I'm gonna put this down in the ink pen, as my partner used to say. He'd say, I'm going to write this down in ink pen. I'm like, as opposed to lead pen, is the ink pen. I'm putting it down. This was Egan's best week.
All right, Connor, come in. I'm done.
I sent him a text yesterday, and I said, hey, good job today. Show sounded great. And all he sends back is, worried? ? I said, the ball's on you.
I've got to tell you, the gentleman at my Wawa said yesterday, he said, I really miss Bob this morning. Egan did a good job.
Oh, thanks.
Because I really missed Bob this morning, though, but Egan did a good job. I said, why'd you really miss Bob? And I was asking him, like, what is it? Because the guy obviously really missed you. He goes, Bob's sort of like the adult in the room. And I said, oh, my gosh, that's totally...
It's a childish room.
By the way, I said, what are you? And I literally said to him, what are you, 22? And he goes, I'm 24. I said, good. By the way, assistant manager, too, I think.
Oh.
24.
Nice.
You get into one of those things at a young age.
Yeah.
And Wawa's a great company to work for, too.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard more about it. I got a little bit of a update the other day of the Wawa because I drove past.
Was it a Taj Mahal Wawa?
The Wawa University.
Oh.
And about it. And this gentleman said he studied harder at Wawa University than he did most of his college classes.
Well, there's money to be made.
Exactly. And he said, I studied harder to know at Wawa University. Now, they have like spring break, Wawa University. Like, do you go and you go crazy and you make shorties? You go and you go
a different kind of shorties, John.
I don't know these things. It's amazing. Hey, draft lines tonight with Devon and Jamie, 6:00. Do you have something after you pulled out that great stat?
Yeah.
Pull that on Devon tonight.
I'm going to deep dive after the show today and get real nerdy with some analytics and, percentages of upsets and where they're falling
Bring
and all that.
for Devon tonight.
I will.
Because Devon always seems like the smart one on the show. So really, you can impress him. And then Devon will start to feel like a little nervous.
Who's the mature one when Jamie and Andrew are on a 9 to 12 on Sundays?
There's nobody.
Yeah, right?
Nobody.
Okay.
Seriously, that show... built for Bong Boulevard. That show, that may be the absolute. That may be the show.
We have a good time.
That is.
You think you're excited? Feel these nipples.
That might be the perfect show. It is the. But what I always say is that, and I would constantly tell people with the network, and I would hear a show, and then so the bosses would say, "We brought in somebody. What do you think of this guy?" And I'm like, okay, he's way too serious for Sunday morning. You can't have that on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, you don't beat people over the head with, if you're going to do a strong opinion thing, then do something funny and stupid.
Yeah.
Like, Sunday morning can't be that.
How about sex positions?
You guys have mastered that.
Good. We weren't even trying.
You've mastered the stupidity part. The stupidity part of it. You and Chunas have it down. And Chunas, hope you're feeling better, baby.
Yeah.
In the linchpin, well, Woj thinks there could be a bomb coming.
This is the linchpin.
I told you not to believe the words coming out of Kyle Lowry's mouth 2 weeks ago because he played the part perfectly. Said all the right things, made Toronto feel nice, gave Philadelphia a little glimmer of hope. And yesterday on the Woj podcast, he had an interesting quote regarding Masai Ujiri up there in Toronto and Kyle Lowry and how respected he is in that organization. He said they're not going to send him somewhere you'd consider an outpost. What he's done for the Raptors organization, I know Masai is going to send him somewhere he wants to go. Philly makes sense in a lot of ways. It's home for him. That's going to be one to watch.
Would he take less to send him somewhere he wants to go because there are other teams that could potentially offer more? I don't like rental players unless it's to win a championship this year.
And it might be. Jamie makes a great point, and we just saw it even again. Joel Embiid, it's dicey, and Brooklyn could have this little dynasty going on here. Jump in when you can, and if it doesn't cost you much, I'm still all for Kyle Lowry. This reminds me of when we have Schefter on and he says things and it's like, whoa, there's more to that than we. Woj doesn't just say things.
No,
Rarely does he say, like, put a team and a city to a player. Just putting it out there, that doesn't happen.
Unless
so this
he
might be
sends you
close.
the late-night drunken email, F you, which, by the way, would have gotten anyone else fired. Like, I mean, that is he gets, unless
he's the
doing
Woj
that.
bomb.
He's the Woj bomb.
But
you and I would have been fired, by the way. In
most
our
likely,
and
yeah.
we would have been.
You just cursed an hour ago, and you're still here.
It would have been cancel culture. If I send the governor or a congressman or a senator an FU email on company email, you and I are fired.
Yeah, but we're not Woj bombs.
Correct. So there's different rules.
I do think, I've thought it all along. I think Kyle Lowry really wants to be here. And from what everybody is saying, the way the Raptors hold him in regard, I think they're going to do right by him.
Okay, what does he make this year? And I need to know this. I do not want Kyle Lowry here if you're not re-signing him next year. But I want to know what he wants to be paid next year.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, he's making
30
and a half this year. He'll probably drop down into that.
To what?
If I had to guess, that 18 to 20 range.
Okay. Oh, no. I'm fine. If you're talking about teens, anything with teens, I'm fine.
I think
Kyle Lowry
he'd have to know he's not in the 30 million range anymore, but he's.
It would have to be a, hey, you want to finish your career here? This is all we can afford.
Yeah, we can give.
Okay.
Boom.
Then you could sway me over to your line of thinking.
Because the Danny Green slot is 15.5 million.
Guess
so
what?
you have that
Guess what?
next year.
If I get Kyle Lowry for what we're giving Danny Green to aggravate me every single Sixers game, because I see 5 minutes of Danny Green and I'm thinking, John, you're so wrong. You're so wrong. And then I watch 5 minutes later and I'm like, no, you're right.
I know, he's
You're
so
right.
streaky,
He
but
had 6 threes the other night.
he brings
Exactly.
such great
Then he does
spacing.
that.
He brings such great spacing. As aggravating as he is, he's ready to gun as soon as the ball's en route to him, and he's ready to shoot. And that's
a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Right,
it can't be undervalued as aggravating as he can be.
He gets himself, and Anthony and I were talking about this the other day, he gets himself to all of the right spots where he's supposed to
It's
be.
the angles. Watch how he plays.
It's like you take it for granted. Yeah, he's always ready, and it's a spacing thing like you brought up earlier, Jamie. It is so good for Joel Embiid to have somebody like that on the floor.
All right.
But get me Kyle Lowry.
I will sign in blood right now that if you get Kyle Lowry to play for Danny Green's slot of money and he's staying, I am absolutely all in on acquiring him.
Yeah, I would be the dream scenario.
As long as Thibault isn't going anywywhere.
I don't think so.
He can't go anywhere.
No.
He cannot go anywhere.
I think he's untouchable. I really do.
He is untouchable. Yeah. But good job on Mr. Anthony Gargano. Though.
Yeah.
Good job on Mr. Anthony Gargano, right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Because he saw it. He saw the potential of Thibault. To me, is a guy, and I know I use the Spurs analogy a lot, but I always admired the way the Spurs would take a guy and then 1 year he's one thing, 1 year he's the next thing, and then the next year he's an all-star.
Yeah. I mean, Kawhi was on that path.
Out of nowhere.
Kawhi started as a defensive guy, and then he started making some big buckets, and then he was an all-star. And
yeah, they brought Steve Kerr in, and Steve Kerr was always a good shooter, but they made him better at what he did. Bruce Bowen was a good defensive player. They worked with him to be a three-point shooter. Boom. Patty Mills, they brought in to be a towel waver, and he winds up being a very good part coming off their bench. So that's what you're hoping. That's exactly what you're hoping for here.
Excellent.
Talk dirty to me, Woj.
There you go. We may have a Woj run now.
Weird.
Okay, now that's what we're looking. That's what we're looking for next week. By the way, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
So we are now within 6 days of the trade deadline.
Yeah. It's gonna get real.
It's starting to come together, and we'll find out what happens. This is exciting stuff. Because they need to find their way to improve just exponentially a little bit better.
Yeah, and if Lowry does happen, not only is it a good basketball fit, it's going to be fun as hell.
Yeah.
Just the idea of coming home, you mean?
Yeah, the extra motivation. He's coming here because if he ends up coming here because he believes they have a shot to win.
He may be the equivalent, real quick, John, because I love how you had this in your mind. You and I have talked about it. He might be the equivalent of a Pete Rose going to the Phillies back in the day.
Could be.
He brought out just that extra sauce. He brought out the best brought out the best in the Mike Schmitz of the world and whatever. Kyle Lowry could be that. Pete Rose was 38 when he came here, and a couple years later they won. The World Series. Kyle Lowry might be that. All
right, start getting me excited, Bob. Please.
There you go.
Please.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
We have wings coming in. We have all kinds of fun stuff, and we thank our friends
Woj
from
is
Hooters
sexting us
for being part of it. No, wait.
Stop.
Woj just sent me an FU email on company email, too, and got away with it.
Well, that was because you were cursing earlier.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he's reprimanding you.
I think there's a little double standard. There's a little double standard. No, I'm not talking about the employee. Who he sent it to. If someone had sent that 6 years previous.
I love it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to play the PC game that you want me to play. I love it. Because Woj has FU money. He's got FU status. You might as well tell someone to go F themselves if you have that.
He doesn't dress.
Love it.
He doesn't dress like he's got
And I don't
FU
even
money.
like Woj. I can't stand Woj, but I love what
his
he
team's
does.
in the tournament. St. Bonnie's.
He doesn't dress like it.
You don't have to always.
He looks
Look at
like
me.
He looks like he dresses at the Daily News thrift shop.
Look at me.
Sometimes Howie was rocking a hoodie yesterday.
Howie, what was that? Howie, you don't look cool.
Was he?
You don't look cool, Howie.
Later.
Nothing you do is going to make you look cool. All right, coming up, we're gonna find out what's going on. What does an NFL coach, general manager, what do they look like to you? We'll get to that coming up. It's the John Kincaid Show. This is 97.5 The Fanatic with the best time of the year, all of the college hoops action. Anthony will be out today at the Parks Casino. You're absolutely going to love it. Go on out and see Cuz, and go on out all weekend long and enjoy it. You can get a free $50 sports bet for all new customers right now. All new customers that download that Parks Casino Sportsbook app or go to parkscasino.com/PA. You can check it on out. You're going to get a $50 free sports bet. It's pretty awesome. What do you got today? Let's think. Illinois, huge favorite this afternoon versus Drexel. But those 22.5 points look like a tasty item to me. Loyola of Chicago now a 5.5-point favorite versus Georgia Tech, with Georgia Tech losing their big man. Rutgers a 2-point favorite over Clemson. Villanova a 6-point favorite over Winthrop. I think I like the 6. I think I'd take that 6. I know this, a free $50 sports bet should get you to the table. Get on in with right now the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. You got to get in, download it right now. If you got a gambling problem, you got to be 21 in Pennsylvania. That gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincaid Show.
Looks like I'm in for a bad hair day.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. Want a breakdown of all the latest lines, spreads, and props for each week in the NFL season? Check out Draft Lines with Jamie Lynch and Devon Givens every Friday night at 6. Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code FANATIC for a special offer when you sign up. Draft Lines, Fridays at 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Cuz I want to talk about my uncle's family, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Uncle Greg and Uncle Paul going all out for the Jeep celebration event. Get huge deals, humongous deals on your favorite models. Drive home a new Jeep 4x4 today for $159 down or $159 a month. Your choice. Complete the entire buying process online. Just shop, click, and drive. They'll even deliver right to your doorstep. You rather visit the showroom? They make that easy and safe, too. Your safety still family's #1 priority, and they take extra precautions to protect you and your vehicle. Just schedule an appointment. They'll take care of the rest. Celebrate 80 years of Jeep at Philly's original Jeep dealer. Family. Call, click, or go visit them today. The Philadelphia Airport Auto Mall. Just remember, family, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You're more than a customer. Yeah, you're family. Online anytime at familyautos.com. See the uncles for details. The offer expires March 31st, 2021.
Hey, it's John Kincade for my friends at T-Mobile, and my T-Mobile device is very important to me. And I'm glad that I have T-Mobile because I've got the best network behind me. Every single morning, I'll send my wife and my daughter a wake-up video so they get it and they know that while we're apart, we're still connected. That's why I need T-Mobile. And you know, if you're 55 and up, they've got an amazing deal for you. How about the Magenta 55 Plus plan? It includes Netflix. But what is it? It's 2 lines, unlimited data, $70 a month. $70 a month flat. No fees above it. $70. You get Netflix. You get 2 lines with unlimited data. It's an absolutely great deal. So if you're 55 and up, I want you to visit T-Mobile.com/55. Or you can call 1-800-T-Mobile today. I promise you this. Having my T-Mobile phone and knowing I've got that connectivity, knowing I got that at my fingertips and with the best network, makes me feel very, very safe and content. It will for your budget, too. At $70 a month, check it out. With autopay, sales tax and regulatory fees are included in the rate plan price, keeping it steady. Unlimited on T-Mobile's network. Customers using over 100 gigs a month may notice reduced speeds during congestion due to data prioritization. Video typically 480p. Receive Netflix standard with 2 lines.
All right, guys, it's Natalie here. And I know there's always that one team that ruins your bracket. That's why this year I'm betting the tournament on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. It doesn't matter if you're betting on Drexel or Gonzaga. New users get up to $1,000 in-site credit back if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel has odds on all the action, an easy-to-use app, multiple deposits and fast withdrawals, and always-on promotions. I do like Gonzaga to go all the way, and FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. Yes, they're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. New and existing users get an additional shot at the payout every day you bet the tourney. So if you want a shot at becoming a millionaire or even a thousandaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Natalie so they know that I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Natalie.
Must be 21 plus and present in NJ or PA. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing risk-free offer for first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
These days, it's okay to do some things halfway, like wearing your pajama bottoms on a work call. But managing your prescriptions shouldn't be one of them. That's why CVS has a proprietary search tool to find ways that may help lower your prescription costs, and will deliver them for free. No wonder CVS customers are better than most at staying on prescriptions, which tends to make you healthier. Come in or call today and get a free prescription savings review at CVS. Savings vary. Not all patients eligible for savings. Delivery restrictions apply. Visit cvs.com for details.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Better sleep means a better you. That's why Mattress Firm came up with the Rest Assured promise, featuring the best mattresses from America's best mattress brands. Like the Tempur-Breeze collection, available now, with a $300 instant gift good towards your choice of sleep accessories. Visit with our sleep experts in-store, online, or by phone to find the right bed for you. Only at Mattress Firm, America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
At Unibet Online Casino, the thrills keep coming. Play hundreds of slots, new and exclusive. Plus, table games with live dealers at your fingertips. Win weekly jackpots at Unibet Online Casino and get non-stop rewards, starting with a $500 deposit match. Download our app or visit pa.unibet.com to get $10 free. Deposit is simple with a credit card or PayPal with a deposit match up to $500. Unibet Online Casino. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Pennsylvania. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm going to have a backyard in a matter of like 6 months. So I wanted Natural Lawn of America to be the company that takes care of my back lawn because I want a safer, greener, weed-free lawn. And that's what Mike Missinelli and Anthony Gargano told me that I had to do. They said it was their lawn care company, and I asked why. Anthony said it's a custom approach. They handle my lawn different than they handle Mike's. You want a greener, weed-free lawn? Use their exclusive organic-based lawn care products that have reduced chemical pesticide use by 85%. Be safer for the whole family. Nikki Foles will have a great backyard to play in. It's going to be fun. Now, this is what piqued my interest, the limited time offer. Schedule Natural Lawn's full-service program and get free seeding every year. That's free seeding every single year. Choose My Lawn Care Company. Natural Lawn of America. With greener grass and fewer weeds, guaranteed.
Now, back to the John Kincaid Show.
We are reinventing what sports talk radio can be. Whether we improve it remains to be seen.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Come on. Shoulda had them apple bottom jean boots with the fur. The whole club was looking.
I like how these apple bottom jeans fit, too. Very comfortable.
Your legs look pretty good in that photo
They're very
shot.
comfortable.
I mean, that picture that we stole from your phone.
No, that was it. You took it off my phone. Hey, today's show is being taken over by our friends at Hooters. Get world-famous wings that you know and love for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com, and we thank them for being a part of this very, very strange Friday here on the John Kincaid Show. It's been strange since the beginning today. Coach, I need a ruling. And guys, I want you to all chime in too. Michael says, I've really enjoyed the show, John. He goes, but I think you're being unfair to Nick Siriani on the soundbite you played about him praising Howie Roseman. You are in a new job right now. And by the way, this gentleman is a PhD. He's got so many letters behind his name. This is a really educated man.
Oh, good for you.
He says, you are in a brand new job right now. He says, and I guarantee you have not come into the halls of 97.5 The Fanatic and tried to impose your will or tried to criticize something that the boss may want you to do. He said, I guarantee you right now you're on your best behavior and you're following things and you're being the good employee. He said, so don't act like you are something that Nick Siriani isn't. By the way, I love the show, and I'm not trying to be critical of you, but I guarantee you, you're being the good boy in the back in the class right now, and you're following exactly what Mike Missinelli and Anthony Gargano would speak up about. You are probably just being silent. Coach Eric Camille, the assistant program director at 97.5 The Fanatic, I would like you to answer Aaron's email there.
Aaron, you're wrong. If you... I want to be very careful.
You don't have to be politically correct. No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. We're cool.
I'll do it.
Coach, we're cool. Bob, Bob say, no, we're cool. We're cool.
I'm kidding. There's no bloom on the rose right now.
There's nothing.
No, it's off. John speaks his mind when he needs to speak his mind.
Yes.
When he needs to?
Or no, when he...
You mean every day?
Well, every day. Yeah.
Or once. So we actually have audio of right after John signed on to join the Fanatic, and he was with the big boss. He was with Joe Bell and Chuck D'Amico, our program director and coach. And this is actually exactly what happened. He signed the papers, and then he turned to him and said,
Look at me. Sure. Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
It's very similar. This man, though, he really believes it. And I want you to know, I love the show. He goes, but I know right now you're not speaking up where an Anthony Gargano or a Mike Missinelli would let their opinion be known. And I just said, I'll let others answer this. And I sent him an email back and I said, thank you for the appreciation.
Yes, thank you for listening, Aaron. Yes, you're off on this one.
You're a little off on that one. You're a little off.
You'd be amazed.
What does my wife say to me at least twice a week? Go, Coach, going into a new building and a new place where I'm working. I always tell you, what does she give me the advice?
I forget what it was.
Don't burn them out.
Don't wear them out.
Don't wear them out. That's it. Yeah.
Don't wear them out.
Yes, too
Don't
late.
wear them out.
Do you listen to her?
Yeah. No.
This is in one ear, out the other.
By the way, last night, and we're not bringing it on air today, but last night before I went to bed, I was ready to throw down. I was ready to throw down over something.
With who?
You didn't check the text chain? Or were you up on your Vicodin or whatever?
You mean all 46 texts?
No, I only sent like 2.
There were 46 of them when I checked.
Yeah, but not from me.
From all of you.
No, I'm going to say, I probably, but I was complaining before going to bed over something that is a absolute egregious thing that I was pissed about last night. Not with any one of you, but did you finally get to it? And you said, Bob, you answered it, I thought.
Did I?
Yeah, I think you did. Hey.
Oh, right.
An absolute.
Oh.
Are you all right there?
Yeah.
Bob's feeling a little bit under.
I'm
here.
fine.
Hey, son.
I know what you're talking about now.
I'm a
Yes.
little pissed about it. Right?
Yeah.
Should I be?
Yeah, but that's behind the scenes, so.
But I should be, though.
We'll talk
Jamie,
about
I should be, right? On this behind-the-scenes
I get
story.
why you are, yes.
I should be? Yes. Absolutely should be. And guess what? He's on the list right now. He's on the list. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? You just made the list.
And Cooney's Corner. Does Bob have clear vision?
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
All right, look, I'm big on first reaction things, right? So I honestly do this with myself, that I look forward to see what my reaction is. It's not, I don't hold back. I like to see when something happens. Oh, my first reaction was, I'm surprised that I reacted like that, whatever. But Howie Roseman comes on to his press conference yesterday. I don't know what a GM is supposed to look like or a coach is supposed to look like. I might have a vision in my head. Howie wasn't it yesterday. I mean, was it contrived for him to come out?
Yes.
Unshaven?
Yes.
Hoodie?
I'm happy to take responsibility for all of that.
Why does someone come unshaven to a press event?
He's every man.
No. Well, that could be.
He was trying, right?
No. I'm working so hard.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
it.
am
He was
burning
trying.
the midnight
Right.
oil.
I got
That's
a hoodie
totally
on.
Contrived. I got a hoodie on. I don't even have time to put on. He's trying to break the. I wear a suit. I'm a pencil pusher. I'm a nerd.
He's trying to be one of the fans.
And by the way, I'm not attacking Howie Roseman for being a nerd because, believe me, I got a lot of nerd in me, so I'm fine with it.
Oh, I am no one to question anyone when it comes to looks or clothing or anything, but
my gut was, he's trying to relate to us.
Yeah,
He's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
I found it odd. Like, look, I'm sorry. You're the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles. You have a press conference? Dude, I'm sorry. Shave, jacket, a nice shirt. Like
that was so dumb.
That I was, and I'm not being old guy boomer here. I'm not saying that. I don't care if you're 25 years old or 50 years old, whatever it is. You should have looked more presentable than he did yesterday. And it did reek to me. My reaction was, he's trying hard to be a guy in the stands drinking a beer.
He's contrived. He's absolutely contrived. Howie, embrace who you are.
Yeah.
Don't try to be somebody that you aren't. I can tell you, I never understand, Jamie, when grown men are worried about, what does another grown man think about me?
Yeah.
I've never understood it. Now, I understand it when middle school boys.
Sure.
I don't understand it
as
for
an
grown
adult.
men.
Yeah.
Especially a grown man who's making $1 million in some a year.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you could give a flip what anyone else thinks about how you're perceived or how you are, especially when it's so fraudulent, how he's trying to perceive himself.
Yeah, I think that was not an accident yesterday. I think he was definitely trying to portray the message that I'm just like you guys. Look, I don't shave. I'm working hard. I got a hoodie on.
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend like I know
hoodie?
Howie Roseman.
No.
I'm not. But look, as an outsider looking in and knowing sports a little bit, been around it for a while, come on, dude. My first thought was, and I would have had this thought 15 years ago for all you guys saying, all right, Boomer, you're the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Can you imagine Elton, Darryl, Dave Dombrowski, or Chuck Fletcher doing that?
No. And no.
I can't
so,
either.
It led me to, because we have all the drops.
Dombrowski especially.
Yeah.
Especially.
Right. So, and Elton. Oh, my God. Elton. You and I.
And you said Elton, though.
Elton's
Elton
downtime.
has his own way.
He would never, ever, ever. He totally disassociates himself from being the player to being the GM, assistant GM, whatever. Elton will be professional 24/7. So I thought, my thought was, okay,
Darryl
he's trying
might
to be an
maybe.
everyday guy.
He's kind of got that.
Daryl's kind of got a hippie thing going. Yeah. But
I think he's.
Yeah.
If I bump into Daryl Morey on Mary Jane Lane, I'm not going to be shocked.
No, I don't think you would be either.
I mean, I would not be shocked at all.
So I just saw it as Howie trying to be the everyday guy when all we have in our mind is pepperoni or sausage or vanilla or chocolate. You know, that guy. So it led to my question that I put out here to you guys. Do you have a coach, a general manager, a player, somebody that just didn't look the part? Because to me, Howie's trying to look a part that he just doesn't seem to be the part.
There is a gentleman who lost the Super Bowl, Dan Quinn, who would wear the suit and a sack. I think he would go and get the 3 for
off the rack.
3 for $4.99 suits. Go to the place. I'll take a blue one, a gray one, and a black one. They never fit properly. Dan Quinn always looked terrible in a suit. And then it became something where he was uncomfortable anytime you asked him to not be in the sweatpants and the routine.
Right.
Dan Quinn was comfortable dressing like Bob Cooney.
Yeah.
But he would, every time they asked him to put on the suit and everything, it looked like he was in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
And he was comfortable being a coach, being in the facility, but when you asked him to put on the suit and it never worked out well.
Yeah.
Never worked out well.
So
he's now the Cowboys defensive coordinator, so don't expect a big turnaround either.
One of my favorite people being in this city that I've come across was a guy that totally didn't look the part to me. And it was a former Flyers head coach, Ken Hitchcock.
Oh, yes.
If you were to put him in a lineup and say one of these guys is a highly successful National Hockey League coach, it wouldn't be Hitch. And I love the guy to death. So that's what I was thinking of more along the lines of who just doesn't look the part. Ken Hitchcock on skates.
I used to think Andy Reid still, and okay, I got to really get careful here. I would say if Andy Reid is leading, I used to wonder, how does he tell guys to get in the weight room?
Yeah, the bet with T.O. thing.
How does he tell guys to get in the best shape of their lives?
Yeah. Well, some of us just have slow metabolisms, John.
Oh, stop.
I'm one of them.
You look good.
I'm not Andy Reid big, but, you know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Andy came to mind for me. Not a ton of guys are coming to mind.
Anybody?
As ill-fitted.
Yeah, and trust me, this is right up my wheelhouse because when it comes to dressing unprofessionally, I am the poster boy for that.
Yeah, you are.
For athlete, Tom Brady, the picture from the combine, he does not look.
Well, Tom is not cool, though.
Yeah, but like
he's not a cool person. He is a geek.
He's not.
But there's a coolness in him embracing his geekiness.
Yes.
But in terms of
Tom doesn't care.
Yeah.
In terms of you look, do the lineup thing. One of these guys is the greatest of all time. Fat little chubby Tom Brady does not fit. And then with the CEO Adam Aaron when he was with the Sixers does not look like he should be running.
The only reason I didn't say him is because I didn't think you guys would relate to it.
Adam Aaron.
Oh no, I always
So I get a source that calls me and says, "Hey, they're going to hire this guy Adam Aaron. Check it out." And I'm talking to this guy and I make a few phone calls. Well, somebody that met with him described him perfectly. He goes, he walks in. One of his shirt tails is hanging out. He literally came in, put his feet up on a counter, and there were holes in the bottom of his shoe. Adam Aaron's great.
And then the final one was Matt Patricia.
Oh, Matt Patricia, terrible.
Matt Patricia looked like a fan who won a contest.
But Matt Patricia never tried to look different. He tried so much to try to make you believe he was Bill Belichick.
No, do you remember at the coaches symposium that they always have? They have all the pictures of all the coaches, and man, he looked awkward when he had to wear adult clothes.
It's not good, man. Hey, as a pro, you do a bit of everything. So Valspar is offering you 5 gallons of PVA primer at $39.99 and 25% off Ultra Paint and Primer at Lowe's. The offer is valid March 15th through the 26th. So you want to make sure that you take care of that. Am I a hypocrite? Because I'm looking at the games that we'll be watching in college hoops, and I'm saying I really want to, get behind Drexel today. Very excited for the Drexel.
Do it, John. What are you afraid of?
Because of the fact that I'm a complete hypocrite because I have no ties to Drexel.
It's all right.
So why?
Sure you do.
What is my tie to Drexel?
They're a Philly team.
Yeah, they're playing at 115 today.
Okay, but I will.
There you go. That's enough.
But Pat, you and I will both be really excited to be Winthrop Eagles today, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think
we will be excited to be Winthrop Eagles, so that doesn't hold at all.
So here's why it's okay. Because you're jealous of Villanova.
Envious.
Sure, whatever you want to call it. You're jealous.
No, I'm envious of the basketball.
Okay, yeah.
I'm envious.
Whatever same wheelhouse. Drexel, you're not envious of. You can support Drexel
so
because.
What am I, supporting Drexel?
Not pity, but Drexel's not going to win national titles. Villanova is.
Correct.
So it's an underdog story. Embrace the underdog. You don't have to. You don't have to embrace Nova. I'll allow.
Oh, what do you mean you'll allow?
I'll allow as the judge here.
See, this is one of the things where people are total fakes. Are total, especially on the air. I absolutely wouldn't embrace them. I can't.
Drexel?
No, Villanova.
Yeah, and I get why you wouldn't.
Okay.
I get why you wouldn't.
That's okay.
You know what I mean?
And I agree.
I can respect the hell out of Jay Wright.
Yeah.
I can say Jay Wright is a spectacular coach that I wish had somehow wandered his way to North Broad
Your
Street.
hatred is rooted in being envious. Yes.
But I can also promise you that if Jay Wright was the coach at Temple, we wouldn't be having to say, well, it's a hard place to win. You can't win there.
Well, he's so handsome, he can get anybody to North Broad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can get a lot of people.
Jay's a handsome man, Bob. Why are you looking at me?
A little bit of a hypocrite.
I don't know what it has to do with recruiting, but if you say so, all right.
A little bit in the sense. I think what
But I
Jamie's
wouldn't
saying
root
is
against
factual, but
Drexel.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact they're a 16 seed.
Yeah. Embrace
They're a
him.
16 seed. So I think if Drexel was a 5 seed, you wouldn't be rooting for him because that's legitimate competition against Temple. But with Villanova, I mean, like
Throw your heart in the
Temple
ring.
and Villanova usually recruit kind of the same kids, although Temple
And then
doesn't usually
Villanova
get
gets them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then Villanova.
Temple isn't recruiting against Drexel, so
Today we hate the Illini, John.
You hate the Illini? No, I don't.
Yes, we do.
You haven't seen
as,
my bracket.
As big Drexel people,
but you
we
haven't
hate
seen-
the
but
Illini.
You haven't seen my bracket.
it's a big Drexel Dragon fan.
Hey, Hooters! If
I haven't seen them play once.
If you need a wing fix, get Hooters for all your basketball watching while you're at home. It's like you're bringing the party to your house. Visit HootersToGo.com.
There was a cool thing with Drexel. Did you see Mike Jensen's piece yesterday? They have a super fan that's at the DAC.
Yeah.
That's, I forget his name off the top of my head, but they're bringing the NCAA allowed his cardboard cutout to travel to Indy, and he's going to be in the stands, which is very cool. If you go to Drexel games, you know this guy. He yells defense. I think they said 185 times a game. Apparently, he's all you hear in the DAC. So a very cool story.
Because he's the only one in the DAC.
It echoes around. JD says Drexel is Pat, Jamie is LaSalle. Is what was
Yeah, okay.
Drexel's Pat, Jamie's LaSalle.
Okay.
So is that how that works on there?
Yeah, I thought I was community, so I'm moving up.
You think you're more Delaware County Community College?
Yeah, I
Is that
would
what
go
you're
Philadelphia
saying, more?
Community College, but whatever.
It's a nice campus.
Wait a minute, is Philadelphia Community College like considered above Delaware County Community College?
Yeah, it's in Philly.
DCCC?
DC3.
252U? Was that? Do they still use that one?
I don't know. I didn't go there. I don't know why you're
That
asking
was
me. I got into the prestigious
used to
Newman
be
University, the Harvard of
252U
Aston.
Was the 252U?
Is that where Rasheed Bailey went?
I can't remember.
He went to Delville.
Yeah.
I just remember this because, so Dad dies, and there was a thing back in the day where your parent was going to lose Social Security benefits for you if you were not enrolled in college before a certain deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And the deadline came up after my dad died. So they gave us the opportunity to leave O'Hara to take a couple classes in order if it meant your parent getting the Social Security benefit.
Yeah.
And Betty said no. She said, you're not doing that. She said, you are not doing that. Not for me, you're not. So she said, you were going to enjoy your you're going to enjoy your high school. You are not going to. Something weird happened right at, and I had a matter of like 3 weeks to make the decision because Dad died Christmas Eve, and the decision had to be made by
February 1st.
And my mom
or
said,
whatever.
you are absolutely not. You are not going to spend the last semester of high school or the last half of your high school senior year spending some of the time at Delaware County Community College. And they were doing it so people could bypass the system.
Mhm.
She said, you're not doing that for me. So good job, Betty.
Way to go, Betty.
Good job, Betty.
I learn more about Betty every day, and I love her even more every day.
Oh, she would have loved you. There's no question and no disrespect to any of the rest of you. Cooney and Betty would have been the tightest. She would have loved Cooney the best. You would have been her choice. Because she would have sat with you and she'd go, you don't talk a lot. You don't talk. You don't talk
She
to
hasn't been around me
She'd
a
be
lot.
like, you don't talk to you have something important to say. To you.
That's
She would have
just
liked
the
you.
show,
She would have
John.
liked-
Away from the
No,
show.
she would have liked you the best. No, Cooney would have been.
So does that mean she didn't like you very much?
No, she'd say, Dad, that's fine, Dad. Because I reminded her of her father, and I was a dead lookalike for my grandfather.
Oh, is that right?
Exact.
That's a good looking
What's
guy.
Betty's maiden name?
Simons.
Okay.
Dead doppelganger for my grandfather.
Genetics are amazing, aren't they?
But my mom said that my grandfather died Flag Day while she was pregnant with me. And my mom always says, part of his soul infiltrated her womb.
Oh, wow.
Because she'd go, Dad, I'm 77 years old, Dad. I don't need you to tell me what I need to be doing. Dad, I don't need any of that. She loved because my brother will not say a word. You could be like,
yeah, Doc's kind of a quiet dude, right?
No, he's not quiet when you get him going. When you get to know him, he's not.
Right.
But Doc would never be the person to give unsolicited advice ever.
Mm-hmm.
His brother, on the other hand, is the walking.
It's time for you to shut
You're the guy in the Progressive commercial at Home Depot that's like, oh, you don't want to be using that. What you want to be
not at Home Depot, though. I wouldn't be because I'm totally lost. I am the person who walks into Home Depot or Lowe's and says, immediately is searching for the person in the smock to help.
Can you tell me where?
Yeah, no. Could you? I need to do this job. What do I need?
Yeah.
Now sometimes I think they're screwing with me because they'll say, oh, you need this, this, and this. And then Christina will go, why did you buy that? We already have that. We already have that. All right, we got a lot coming up for you in the second half of the show. And as George Michael said, you got to have faith. You got to have faith.
He wants to sing again.
It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Did I tell you about that $50 free bet? Yeah. Parks Casino Sportsbook app. You get a $50 free wager right now if you're a new customer and you download the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. I got to love it because with all of the college hoops action right now and all those locals in action, you're going to want to be part of everything that Parks Casino has going for you today, including how about this? A risk-free bet up to $500. With the favorites of the tournament being such heavy favorites, I would suggest that maybe you want to do one of their future bets and pick them out. Or you want the in-game wagering. If you've got a feel of how the games are going, make the adjustments as the game go along. I absolutely love the Parks Casino Sportsbook app, and I've got to tell you, if it was not a trip out of town for me today, I'd be up hanging out with Anthony Gargano at Parks Casino today and Monday. It's a lot of fun. Go check out that sportsbook there. Parks Casino Sportsbook app is absolutely the best. Check it on out right now. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincade Show.
They put it on the air?
Of course they put it on the air. It was a big success.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Today's John Kincade Show Takeover is brought to you by Hooters. Get world-famous wings you know and love for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com.
What's for dinner, you ask? At Wawa, we've got the answer, no matter what you're craving. Because Wawa now has dinner. Every day starting at 4 p.m., you'll find crave-worthy dinner options that will make everyone happy. Like fettuccine Alfredo, kids' meals, delicious Angus burgers, French fries, and more. Choose in-store, curbside, or delivery. Wawa dinner. Sounds good.
Come in from the cold for something hot and comforting from Wawa. Savor the handcrafted salty sweetness of a toasted caramel crunch latte, topped with a caramel drizzle and crunchy caramelized sugar. Or cozy up to the warm, inviting vanilla sugar and spice aromas of our new cinnamon bun coffee, bursting with a delicious fresh baked flavor. Treat yourself and try them both this winter to create your very own getaway to deliciousness. Gotta have a Wawa.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business and powered by Intel Core processors. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
Experience March like never before because fans are welcome at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You can bet the bracket and watch every game live all tournament long on our 52-foot LED media wall display. And with tons of betting kiosks, you won't miss a thing waiting in line. Treat yourself like a number one seed. Get off the bench and into the action at FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Your home for college hoops all tournament long. Must be 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save for driving safely. Save for driving less with pay-per-mile insurance. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. Savings based on early signing, discount drive-bys, and mile wise. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Tax day is just weeks away, and if you haven't gotten your act together yet, that's okay. I'm not judging. But do this. Take 5 minutes right now and go to daviscpagroup.com and make an appointment. They'll prepare and electronically file your taxes in just 3 days. Ron Davis and his team have 30 years experience providing full-service accounting and tax services for New Jersey and PA residents and businesses. And all new clients have a chance to score Philly baseball, basketball, or football tickets when the fans return to the stands. Go with the pros. daviscpagroup.com.
Today, pros have to do whatever it takes. The Home Depot is here to make that easier. We've got the products you know and trust on our app, delivery options to get what you need exactly where you need it, and a delivery tracker that keeps you up to date on the status of your order, so you can keep doing what you do best, whatever it takes to get the job done. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
There's no such thing as a sure bet on an illegal website. Illegal betting sites are accountable to no one. That puts you and your money at risk. Why play these odds when Pennsylvania offers legal online betting for those who want to wager? Legal sites pay out your winnings, ensure fair play, and support responsible gaming. That benefits you and Pennsylvania's economy. Visit bettersafe.org/PA for information. That's BETTOR safe.org/PA to learn more. Don't be sorry. Be better safe.
All right, somebody's going to lose a finger here in the studio because Hooters brought in some of their beautiful smoked wings. Caribbean jerk, some barbecue wings. They're awesome. And you know that Hooters can bring the party to you. They're the official hangout for wings, beer, the Hooters girls, and, of course, game day. You can be playing hooky at Hooters, too, watching all the basketball action with the Hooters girls, enjoying that ice-cold beer, some great seafood, and Hooters-style famous wings. By the way, their fish sandwich puts the fast food places to absolute shame. If you need your wing fix and you want it at home, get all of your Hooters menu items to go at HootersToGo.com. Get the fried pickles. Thank me later. Hooters has the world-famous wings you know and love. They're available for pickup or delivery, and you can visit HootersToGo.com to place an order today. World-famous wings, traditional or boneless, breaded or naked, always fresh made just for you. And if wings aren't your thing, Hooters offers a wide variety of sandwiches, salads, and seafood, too. Hooters is the original wing joint since 1983. Visit northeasthooters.com and find the location nearest you.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. To the John Kincaid Show.
I can't wait to finally see what my new coworkers look like once we get these masks off. I'm expecting to be disappointed.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
be nice if I could touch your body.
I love it when Egan dances. It's sort of like watching a Tickle Me Elmo. You know,
Try to tickle me.
The Tickle Me Elmo. You didn't have to get that for one of your kids?
Yes, I think there was a Tickle Me Elmo.
That was the biggest knife fight.
Skylar loves Elmo.
Does she have a Tickle Me Elmo?
She has a dancing Elmo and like an ABC Elmo.
Well,
I don't think the Tickle Me is still hot in the streets. I don't know, though.
Okay, I have, I think it's politically incorrect now. That's the politically incorrect Elmo. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. Visit paworkinjury.com. Today's been strange. I cursed in the 6 o'clock hour.
Yep. You did.
Even though I didn't really curse.
No, you did.
No, what do you mean you didn't really curse?
No, it is
You
not a
cursed
curse.
as real as you can curse.
There is the only curse to curse is GD or JC.
In the church, in the radio, what you said is a curse.
That is more of just slack.
George Carlin would not be happy with you.
Well, it's not one of the words, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not one of the words.
It's not one of the
one of the words that would get us in trouble.
Yeah.
It's just considered slack.
Yeah.
But Nick Siriani got me that. He got me that aggravated a little bit early. So I was a little distracted there.
Well, you know.
And then all day long, like the boys here, I've been waiting for these delicious Hooters wings.
I was going to say, they're not aggravating.
And they're awesome, right? The smoked wings are the best. I think they're the best editorializing.
I just housed like 10 of them.
Best. They're awesome.
Yeah, I really was having a good time.
There is one that has a lime. It's like a black pepper lime one that will make you cry. It's so delicious.
I love wings.
So I've been waiting all day.
Yeah, and then you tried to ruin it for the rest of us.
I went and got a plate, and then I realized it's a Friday during Lent. So I will not be having the beautiful Hooters wings today. And so now my day's off to just a spectacular start.
I'm having a great time over here.
So, oh, good.
That's more for me, John.
There you go. All right, let's start with this. You heard George Michael. You got to have faith, right? Or at least that is what people try to convince me of. Yesterday, of course, I'm listening to Cuz Radio. Absolutely awesome. Heard some great conversation on this exact subject. And I heard Anthony explaining to a caller that there's a difference, that you have to have faith, but you don't have to have blind faith. And I do believe there's a difference to that. Daryl Morey, for example. With all due respect, Daryl Morey hasn't won a thing. But his roster building in the NBA has been aggressive and creative, out-of-the-box thinking. I want to believe in Daryl Morey, and I have every reason to believe in Daryl Morey. I've got faith in his drafting ability, his ability to evaluate talent. But I can't have faith that he has the ability to get a team to the NBA Finals yet. I need to see it. So Nick Siriani, comparing him to Daryl Morey, he can't just get my faith either. My mind's way too logical. My doubts are currently smothering a bit of my enthusiasm for the new coach. I always give a guy time. Always. But I'll admit I was uninspired by the hires of Andy Reid and Doug Peterson. So my track record is worse than Howie on draft day. I did see through the rah-rah acts of Chip Kelly and Gabe Kapler. And you could even search my social media and find that the day they were both hired, I said these are both going to end up being comedic, disastrous hires. But people in this town didn't see it. Those approaches didn't work here. And I thought it from day one. My alarms are ringing off the hook for Nick Siriani. Nope. Blind faith does not make you a better fan than me. It makes you one of the chief. You're one of the sheep. And so, Jamie, could you give it to us? You're one of the sheep. Exactly. I'm going to give Nick Siriani a chance. That is the best.
Every day I can hear that.
But my faith is going to have to be earned. I refuse to give him blind faith based on what I've seen because we know nothing about him. And that's where we begin the 8 o'clock hour, the John Kincaid Show with Bob Cooney, the sheep, Jamie Lynch, and, of course, Pat Egan and the coach, Eric Camille. On this fantastic Friday.
I have a feeling I'm walking into the sheep slaughterhouse here.
Do you, are you going to give him blind faith?
I give people blind faith until proven otherwise. And a press conference isn't going to derail me from that.
Okay.
And now, it wasn't inspiring. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you.
That's 2 times.
Woo!
That's 2 times.
But I don't think
Johnny 2 times.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with how good or bad of a coach he'll be. So all I care about is what happens in between the lines. So if you call me a sheep, sure, I can take it, I guess.
No, blind faith.
Yeah, but I'm going to give some blind faith until proven otherwise. Because
blind faith means you assume he's going to be really good. That's what blind faith
They've
is.
hired pretty good coaches, and the only thing I can base things on here is their track record in hiring coaches. And Andy, Chip, Doug, all fairly good hires. So I'm going to give the faith to the Eagles that they know kind of what they're looking for.
I don't do blind faith. It's got to be earned. It's got to be. Now, John, in your normal life away from sports, you've professed blind faith.
No, I'm an idiot.
Because of your blind faith is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Right.
Like
so
in personal relationships,
right.
I am an absolute idiot. I have been walked over by people that I thought I could completely trust, and I have not trusted initially people that end up being some of my closest comrades.
Right. So that's why
I'm a terrible judge of character.
And we've talked about this. That's why I brought it up. You've told me that about yourself.
I'm horrendous.
And so it's funny that when you go to the sports about somebody we don't know that you don't have the blind faith, which is
because I don't know Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean?
I hear you, and I'm there with you. Like, I'm not there. I can't do blind faith. I hope he's good. I'm not putting him down, saying there's no chance he's going to be bad because of press conferences. And John, you're not saying that either. I don't have faith in someone until they've earned it.
And guess what? Just so we can clear up anything, every single one of us, raise your hand if you want Nick Sirianni to be a Hall of Fame coach and successful.
Sure, absolutely.
Every one of us. So, I mean, nobody is rooting against Nick Sirianni. But to be a blind faith, I think it's fanboy, Pat. I think it's fanboy being the blind faith.
Yeah, it's hard for me to sit here and make, absolutes over a press conference because
It's two now.
Yeah, it has. But, I mean, I've been so wrong before. Like, you were right on Chip Kelly. Man, was I so wrong. And that's why I kind of held off judgment
Where
on
were you
Doug
on
Peterson.
Gabe?
Gabe, I liked until I couldn't defend it anymore.
I'm so proud that I got Chip and Gabe exactly correct.
But if there's one thing that I
knew exactly how it was going to end.
If there's one thing that I've proven, it's that I'm a bad evaluator of talent when it comes to head coaches because the guys that I've liked usually are terrible and the guys that I don't are great. So,
but with Gabe
was an idiot. He was an idiot. And I'm not. I'm
he
trying
might
to be nice.
a better.
I'm trying to be nice.
But seeing the Phillies last year with Joe Girardi inheriting the same problems that Gabe had, I think Gabe, he overachieved in San Francisco last year. I don't think he's not horrible.
He didn't achieve anything.
But he had a nothing team that ended up.
Then you don't overachieve.
500.
Yeah, they were right around 500.
500.
To me, that's overachieving when you had no expectations.
You have to achieve something. To be an overachiever, you have to have achieved something. He didn't achieve anything. But what, he finished 9th best record?
No, I hear what you're saying, but if the Vegas win total was 70.
Vegas.
Well, I'm saying that it has to do with the expectations. They know what they're talking
but to
about.
achieve, you have to have achieved something. What did they achieve? They achieved nothing.
They achieved more than their projected win total.
That's not achieving.
Well, I just don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he was overhated on.
Oh, my gosh.
Chip Kelly was the opposite of that. He was figured out and didn't have a counterpunch after year 2 and couldn't get it together.
I wonder, Bob, he walked into a room, interviewed with Jeffrey Lowry and the entire brass, a guy who has never had he's never been on the head coaching radar of any other franchise in the NFL. And he walked in and they said, yep, I want to know what he did behind closed doors that he can't do when the pressure's on. As far as to articulate his thoughts.
It's a legitimate question. It really is, because when unknowns are hired, and look, this is an unknown, as you said.
Complete unknown.
When unknowns are hired, usually when they come out and you see them for the first time, first impression, you usually leave with, oh, wow, I can see why. That's impressive, right? And nothing against Nick Sirianni, again, because we don't know him at all. But through these first 2 press conferences, it hasn't come across like, get it? It hasn't come across that he could have sat at a desk across from 2 people, being Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lowry, and they said, Wow.
He's the guy. Got to have him.
You know what it might have been? It might have just been his enthusiasm. Maybe they were just so in love with his enthusiasm.
He loves ball.
That's what overtook them.
I'm going to tell you what I'm not in love with. And to be honest with you, ass kissers. And this sums up.
This wasn't good.
This sums up Nick Sirianni literally just deciding I'm going to be a butt kisser.
To see the young talent on this team, like I think Howie and his staff have done such a good job of getting young talent in here. Like I just, and what's exciting to be able to work with the guys that are currently on this roster. Like these are the guys that are currently on these rosters. Like these are the guys that I fell in love with, a couple years ago in the draft or last year in the draft. Like you don't get to recruit the guys. It's like, oh shoot, the Eagles took them. I don't get a chance to work. I get a chance to work with them now. That's not true.
How am I supposed to give this guy the benefit of the doubt when he comes out with that load of bull crap?
Because all that matters is how he manages the team, right?
It tells me about his backbone. It tells me about what his agenda is. It tells me that he's a butt kisser.
He
wants to be. But why?
But what does that have to do with coaching?
But what it tells me about you're a leader. You're a leader. Guess what? The players that are in that locker room, Bob, the players that are in that organization damn well know that roster is not full of young talent. They know it. And this guy's coming in. He's supposed to be their leader. And he's saying that. They know it.
Yeah, but does it ever hurt you to get on the good side of the bosses a little bit? The players are going to do it to him.
Tell me at my next job.
And this is a question for you, Bob. Do players really even pay attention to these press conferences?
It depends on how much they've met with him. Now, because of the pandemic, James, and knowing they probably haven't been able to get together all that much, I would say, yeah. I would say that they're glued into these press conferences to learn a little bit more about their coach because they haven't had a chance to have the one-on-ones with him in person. So, yeah, I think they're making some judgments off of these two press conferences.
As a pro, you do a bit of everything. Valspar's offering you 5 gallons of PVA primer at $39.99 and 25% off Ultra Patent Primer at Lowe's. Check it out. The offer is valid March 15th through the 26th. Everybody, it's weird too, everybody wants Nick Sirianni to be successful, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing better. I don't want to sit through 2 or 3 years of a bad coach. So I'm hoping.
Nobody does.
I'm hoping that they're hiring prowess works here.
Hey, if you've hired the new lightning rod young guy, oh my gosh, look at this. Like we've seen up in Green Bay, like we've seen a little bit out in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm all for it. Bring it on, right?
And I can tell you, Matt LaFleur, the coach of the Green Bay Packers, was an assistant in Albuquerque when I lived there. They thought so little of Matt LaFleur that when Kyle Shanahan left, they said, we can't promote this guy to offensive coordinator. And the issues they had with Matt LaFleur were not his football IQ. It was how he handles people and things like that. So
But were they wrong? Like, he appears to be a solid coach.
He's excellent. Or he could have changed. He could have changed because of the fact that he didn't get the job that he could have changed his approach. I can tell you this.
And he was the same age-ish as Sirianni, right?
His approach seems much different today.
Well, I think
Kyle Shanahan's approach is completely different.
Yeah.
Everything I read about him, completely different than the guy that I observed.
So to defend Nick, I mean, anytime you're in a new job that you haven't done before, there's an uncomfortability in the beginning. It takes you a while. You have to be a sponge. Like when I first stepped into this chair, I'm not nearly as good as I am now. I mean, a lot of people are going, you still suck, but that's fine. You learn, you improve, you get better. He's young. He's thrust into a new spot he's never been before. Because I tried to put myself in his shoes because we're the same age. And I'm going, man, if I had to get in front of Philadelphia media on a Zoom call.
On a Zoom call?
It's awkward.
But what is the intimidation factor? The intimidation factor is when you're going to have to look at Zach Berman and you're going to have to check out. Here's Jeff McClain. Here's Les Bowen.
See, but I think
that's what it's going to be.
I'm just guessing here. I think his enthusiasm comes off better in person than it does. I think he probably would play off of people better than he would on a Zoom call. I think it's an uncomfortable situation to be thrown into the fire for your first time.
You make an interesting point. So Jamie's same age, 39. We all know and love Jamie and his goofiness and all that
I
stuff.
would look like an idiot up there.
Listen, you know more about radio
People
than
are watching
I'll,
on YouTube. You don't have to convince them.
No, but you know more about radio. You've been in the business. You went to school for this business. You know more about it than maybe I'll ever learn about it. And you and I can talk, and you're great. And you've taught me so many things in the 3.5 years that I've been in this business. But if we put Jamie up in front of, I don't know, reporters asking him even about just the radio business, maybe Jamie doesn't come across that
I
great.
think Jamie would own the room.
I don't know.
If the subject matter was radio and you had people asking you questions about radio, I think you'd own the room. I think you'd be very comfortable with the content.
But if it's...
I think you'd be very... I mean, this is what you're hiring him to do, talk football.
Yeah.
But are
he
but
scrambles
are you?
into... Yes.
I mean, you hire him to coach football.
All right, it's going to be this town, and you know this town. It's a 27-17 loss to the Cowboys and there are numerous breakdowns in the red zone of your offense. You're facing the cameras right after the game, and then you're facing the cameras again in your Monday press conference.
But I think
You better be prepared.
I think he'll be better by then.
Guess what? You don't usually get hired for a job, and then the biggest job, the NFL head coaching job, you don't usually get hired for that and then grow into that.
I have to believe he did something in the interview other than just be controllable.
Am I going to hear about... So they lose a game to the Cowboys. Critical game. We come in here on Monday. And after the game, Nick Sirianni's going to be like, my brother faced a really tough game like this once. One time he was facing this real game against Central Valley, and it was really, really tight.
Don't do that,
And
Nick.
you know what he did? He did this, and that's why I like to brag on my brother, and I think it's really cool. It's so ridiculous. It was sophomoric.
But do you think he'll stay on that pace?
I don't want a head coach. I don't want to hire a guy that's learning on the job.
Well, that's what you have. You have a rookie.
I don't want that. Guess what? I'm fine if you hire Andy Reid or Doug Peterson, who weren't going to own the room. They weren't going to put on a floor show, but they were comfortable with the subject matter. And guess what? Everybody trying to compare it to Andy Reid and Doug Peterson press conferences. I tell you right now, you didn't watch them, because I've just went and watched them again.
Well,
they weren't uncomfortable with the subject matter.
That kind of goes to my
They
point,
were just
though. Like,
dull. Both of them were dull.
There's no way he came off like he did in the press conferences in the interview, right? Because then
I agree, absolutely.
Because then Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman would be insane. So he, in his comfort zone, he must present well.
I understand what you're saying, and John's point is, how can that not be his comfort zone? You're talking football, so I understand what you're saying. I having been around so many press conferences, I understand the awkwardness that some people feel. And John, you said you don't want a guy to grow into his job. He's going to get used to being in front of media more than he is right now, because as an offensive coordinator or whatever he was in Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. He wasn't behind the mic a lot. He could do his job behind the scenes.
Here's what I would say. You have, I don't want to use this example. I'm going to try to think of another example.
Don't curse.
You're hiring a guy. Jim Gardner is going to retire. At some point, Jim Gardner is going to retire.
Don't say that.
He is. I know.
You
it's
don't
terrible.
say that.
I don't even want to think about it. Jim Gardner one day will retire.
God.
The news director at Channel 6 could say, I have a hunch about this guy, and we're going to make him take Jim Gardner's seat. But wait a minute. There are these other guys that you could begin. I mean, is Rick? Rick's been there forever. Rick is a guy that is respected all over the country.
Rick's great.
For what he can do. You mean you're passing over Rick? Yeah, we're not going with a guy like Rick. I can't remember the guy's name who does the 4 o'clock news.
That'd be Brian Taft.
Brian Taft. We're not going to go with Brian Taft. No. We're not going with guys that have been ascending to the... We're going to go off the board, and I'm bringing in a guy that nobody knows here, and he's taking Jim Gardner's chair. Guess what? As a news director, you better be right. You better be right. Because you passed over guys who were highly qualified, more qualified by a mile, and you hired him. And then the first night on the news... So Cecily comes over, or Adam comes over and goes, we want to welcome you to Channel 6 and everything. Oh, it's awesome. You know, my brother told me one day when I got this seat, it was going to be the greatest thing in the whole world. You don't do that. You don't do that. What did, when we started day one, do you remember our first show? And do you remember there's something that I said to Coach that I didn't want our first show to be, and I didn't want our first week to be, and I didn't want to. I wanted no welcome home John stuff. Nothing.
Yeah, we weren't planning on anything.
No, but I didn't want any of the contrived, because usually it'd be like, oh, new host, we're going to bring on this guy.
Oh, I
this
finally
guy,
got
this
you
guy.
something. I got you some Hooters wings.
Well, I mean, it's the idea of
welcome home.
I wanted to just, we're hitting the ground running. It's day one, hit the ground running, do the job. You have to. I don't like the idea of someone
I hear
learning
you,
on
but
the
people
way.
improve. Like,
yes, he may, and guess what? He's going to be better.
Like I was in the,
he can't be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was in the restaurant industry forever, and my first day waiting tables, I was a disaster. I probably spilled. It was probably a mess. I got better.
By the way, guard those wings. I didn't even realize it. It is St. Joseph's Day today. It's St. Joseph's feast day today.
So feast away, Johnny.
I'm allowed to have meat today. It's St. Joseph's feast day today. St. Joseph's Day, you're allowed to have meat.
Oh, really?
See, I knew that. That's why I already had a plate.
And by the way,
you're going to partake, aren't you?
My mom's favorite, St. Joseph.
Is St. Joseph the one when you're trying to sell a house you put in the...
Yes, you bury him upside down.
Yeah, we did that.
Did you?
Yeah, he didn't work too well for us for a long, long time.
That's
well,
terrible.
we finally sold the house, but...
That's terrible.
St. Anthony always works when you lose something.
Well, when you lose it, St. Anthony.
Please come around. Something is lost and can't be found.
There you go.
Works every time.
And there's, by the way, there's totally biblically to that too. That's what they used to do back in the day. That's how he became a saint.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, somebody lost their keys.
He found somebody's keys and they made him a saint.
Found the keys and they made him a saint.
Wow.
You didn't even, I think that's the story.
Yeah.
You may want to check. If you
it.
want to get in with us, you can at 610-632-0975. We got a chance to catch up with you. Plus, Carson Wentz's excuse. It's the John Kincaid Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I will tell you, when back pain has you down, like Bob Cooney yesterday, or when you're thinking about the stairs being almost impossible, your joints keep you from doing what you love, you need my friends, the world-class expert at Rothman Orthopedics. I knew coming to town that I've got plantar fasciitis and I've had problems with my feet. My daughter's broken her feet twice. You need the Rothman approach to orthopedics, and we needed to have somebody here to help us. With more than 50 years of experience, Rothman was the choice, because they combine evidence-based medicine and the latest minimally invasive techniques to redefine what's possible in orthopedics. It's how they've become not just the leading practice here, but worldwide. They're awesome. And they're committing to providing you the best. You can get day of appointments. If you're in pain today, stop putting it off. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. Check out my friends at Rothman Ortho, because I'm telling you, this weekend is going to be a real pain in the back.
The John Kincaid Show.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. The Fanatic's Bracket Challenge is back. A perfect bracket could win you
$1 million.
Go to 97.5thefanatic.com and fill out your bracket. Someone is guaranteed to win $1,000. But a perfect bracket will win you $1 million.
97.5 The Fanatic's $1 Million Bracket Challenge is brought to you by the Parks Casino Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook partner of the Real Philly Fan.
And 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
In 2003, it was rare for freshmen to carry a college basketball team, never mind two of them. But for Syracuse, Carmelo Anthony and Jerry McNamara did just that, all the way to a national championship. Anthony led the team in scoring and rebounds, while McNamara led the team in assists and was third in scoring. In the national championship game against Kansas, Carmelo was the game's leading scorer with 20, and McNamara added 18.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
March is the biggest month in college basketball, where teams across the country test their talent in the hopes of winning it all. For finding talent that can help your team win it all, there's LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view, as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here, and there's always that one team that ruins your bracket, and that's why this year I'm betting the tournament on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. It doesn't matter if you're betting on Villanova, if you're betting on Baylor. New users can get up to $1,000 in-site credit back if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel has odds on all the action. An easy-to-use app multiple deposits and fast withdrawals, and always on promotions. Now, I mentioned some of the teams that you might like, but take a look at Michigan, Gonzaga. I think somebody that's very highly seeded is going to win this tournament. FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. Yes, you. They're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. New and existing users get an additional shot at the payout every day you bet the tourney. So if you want a shot at becoming a millionaire or even a thousandaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code Bob so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Bob.
Must be 21 plus and present in NJ or PA. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing risk-free offer for first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
In 2003, it was rare for freshmen to carry a college basketball team. Never mind two of them. But for Syracuse, Carmelo Anthony and Jerry McNamara did just that, all the way to a national championship. Anthony led the team in scoring and rebounds, while McNamara led the team in assists and was third in scoring. In the national championship game against Kansas, Carmelo was the game's leading scorer with 20, and McNamara added 18.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
March is the biggest month in college basketball, where teams across the country test their talent in the hopes of winning it all. For finding talent that can help your team win it all, there's LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view, as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers with essential safety supplies, inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Dear smart shoppers, ready, set, go. Get a great deal on a new Toyota. Get a complimentary first month's lease payment on a new 2021 Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, or Corolla Hatchback with $139 a month due for 35 months thereafter with $29.99 due at signing, plus taxes and fees. Save now, Toyota.
Security deposit waived on approved credit from Toyota Financial Services for Tier 1 Plus or Tier 3 customers only. Complimentary first month's payment up to $300. Customer responsible for any amount of first month's payment in excess of $300. Call 1-800-79-TOYOTA for details about costs and terms. Varies by region. See dealer for details. Offers end 3/31/21.
So maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, but you have to check out Kohl's. The athleisure styles we've all been living in, they're on sale. I saved on a Champion sweatshirt for my daughter, got an $11.99 Vans tee for my son, and picked up Adidas sneakers for my husband. Plus, I got 20% off and Kohl's Cash. So I'm totally going back for those Sonoma jeans. You know, for when I actually want to wear jeans again. Select styles, 20% offer ends March 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Philadelphia's hometown sportsbook. Bet Rivers is the official sports betting partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. All season long, make your hockey bets with a trusted local team at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Get started today with a special offer. Use the code 250MATCH to get up to $250 in bonus money on your first deposit. Whether you watch the Flyers game at home or at the Bet Rivers Sportsbook at Rivers Casino Philadelphia, bet with a winner at BetRivers.com. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I can tell you this. Having my T-Mobile phone today is more important than ever because I'm traveling. So that means I have to have my app. So I load my boarding pass onto it. I need to be able to call the girls to tell me, hey, I'm taking off. I'll be home soon. I have to be able to call the Uber. All those kind of things. I've got everything right here on my T-Mobile device. So what I also need to know is I've got a reliable network because I don't want to be held up. T-Mobile's got the best network. When T-Mobile and Sprint merged, it was game over for the industry, and every other provider knew it. Now the question is this. Do you need a great rate plan? How about if you're in the 55-plus crowd? You can get the Magenta 55-plus plan. You get 2 lines, unlimited data for just $70 a month, and they're going to throw in Netflix. It's included. It's a spectacular deal. So you got to check it out today with AutoPay. Make sure you have checked it out at T-Mobile.com/55 or you call 1-800-T-Mobile today. So when you are traveling, make sure that T-Mobile is going along with you.
Now, back to the John Kincaid Show.
Yep, this is really happening. You're listening to us knuckleheads instead of doing something that you could be productive in.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Hey.
Oh, it's your favorite rapper.
Ho. Thanks so much for hanging out with the John Kincaid Show. Here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And who is that peering over Bob's shoulder? That's Snoop Dogg, baby. Bob, you and Snoop buddies.
We hung out in the day.
You and Snoop buddies.
Yeah. I got
Hanging
too
out
cool
over
for
time.
him, so.
He's absolutely awesome.
He would like Mary Jane Lane.
Oh, Snoop would follow me right on over.
Invented Mary Jane Lane.
Snoop would follow me right on over.
Are you kidding me?
Do you know he has a professional blunt roller?
I do know that.
Yeah, I think he pays him like $60,000 or $65,000 a year to just roll blunts.
You gotta be kidding
No,
me.
he does more than that, though. He also cultivates.
Okay. He's his whole weed connoisseur.
He's the guy who cultivates and makes sure that it's all there. And by the way, I think, in fact, if you go to the Shaq podcast and you go and you check out one of the appearances of Snoop, he talks about the fact that I think 150 people interviewed
for that job. I mean, that would probably be a pretty fun job.
Oh, by the way, there's more to it than he pays more than that.
Oh, I'm sure. I thought it was just
like
blunts.
Expenses and everything. So he's absolutely amazing. We will get him. In fact, next time Shaquille's with us, we will get him on we will make sure that we get Snoop on the show. Snoop's a lot of fun. I told the guys though, Snoop is obsessed with this area because his favorite television program was One Life to Live, the old ABC soap opera, which is based on this part of the main line.
Really?
In fact, it was Landview, Pennsylvania, double L. And so it was named after like the Lanark area, Land Fair. And Snoop actually appeared on the show as himself various times and then sang the theme song for the show. He created his own version of the theme song for One Life to Live. So he's obsessed. And he thought that's where he got some of his acting chops from. So we will have to get Snoop on. He's the best. Good person. Hey, today's show's being taken over by our friends at Hooters. If you need a wing fix, get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. And I was able to sample the wings because they are serving meat today at LaSalle Catholic High School.
Yes, Dina Poole texted in. LaSalle's got meat in the cafeteria today, so
wow.
Eat away.
Oh, that's how we found out.
It's
Dina
St. Joseph's
texted?
Day, but it's St. Joseph's Day
But
today.
she's let the bell go off.
Okay, that's awesome. That is
All right.
great stuff. So I was able...
all meted up.
That is intervention by St. Joseph on my behalf. Because I was not eating the
That
wings.
would have been torturous for you because they're delicious.
It already was. I was watching you guys during the last break, and it was killing me. Because I'm shocked, having never done morning radio like this. I would do it on Sunday mornings but I was the only person in the building. My producer, engineers, and everything were either at ESPN or at CBS. So I was in a room by myself.
Right.
So I never had, like, food drops and things like that to be a part of it. I never thought I'd eat weird, out of context stuff at this hour of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's how I look at it, okay? I've been up for 5 hours now.
Yeah.
So say if you sleep in, John, on a Saturday, right? And you get up at 9 o'clock.
All right.
10, 11, 12, 1. Okay,
happen.
but just say, so if you get up at 9, at 2 o'clock, would it be odd to be eating chicken wings?
No, it wouldn't. You're right.
See?
Yeah.
So we're good
You're right.
to go.
No, it is. It's
See, I try to justify all of our crazy
I don't
behavior.
think it's crazy. It's just it's completely different.
It is
And by
weird.
the way, today's the first day I feel normal after the time change. Today's the first day. Yesterday, I didn't nap. I took a pointer from one of my old coworkers. He said, "Don't nap. If you ever get into one of these ruts,
just normalize yourself by not napping.
Don't nap. Go to bed a little earlier, and it'll all reset. The whole cycle will reset, and it worked. It worked. So I just didn't nap yesterday.
You know what worked for me? I think I slept almost all day yesterday. All I did was take medicine and put heating pads on, and all you can do is lie down. So when you're laying down, what else is there to
Were you
do
any
but close your eyes?
painkillers or anything? Because you did think that Connor had said something that he didn't say. You thought you heard something.
I thought I heard something that Connor said, and I asked you guys about it, and you're
And we
like,
all
"Are
looked
you
at
nuts?"
like he never said that.
And Bob, you're not the only one.
Oh, really?
I got a DM about it too. Yeah,
Oh,
so you
okay.
are not the only one.
That somebody else thought that he said.
And it happens because I thought Jamie a week ago said the F word, and I dumped it.
Who am I, John Kincaid?
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
I don't do that.
We're not potty mouths.
And none of you guys reacted to it, and I was like, oh, I guess he didn't say that.
But I would say that, Pat, in soundbite number 1, Nick Siriani had his crutch, and he used it over and over and over again.
We're always looking for players that love ball. Like, in my experience, like, those 4 things, like, when you find players that have those 4 things, like, those are the guys you can't go to a game without. Like, hey, these guys, the players that have those 4 things, it just feels like every player that I've been around that I'm like, I can't get on the bus or the plane without him, he has those 4 qualities.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, he threw out 4 likes in 7 seconds.
And now everybody's going to pick up on it because, right, once somebody tells you something about something, now you're listening for it.
And everybody has crutches.
Sure.
And Pat, I even made you create one for me, that I've got.
Oh, that's not the only one. I'm going to.
Well, give it to me, though. Give it to me so the audience will hear. So,
hey, Johnny 2 times.
To tell me in my head, don't make a point twice. So it's like everybody has crutches. But it would be over and over and over again. Nobody uses their crutches like that.
Literally?
That's a bad one.
Some people are bad with the like thing. I told you earlier it was a New Year's resolution of mine when I was younger, and I would hear myself say it, and I was starting to hate myself. So I had to drop it from the bag.
Is that why you ate?
Ate?
Is that why you ate? Because you hated yourself. Wow. No, what I mean is that like what the,
wow.
Is that what, I'm being Oprah here. I'm being Oprah.
No, I don't. I'm not like a.
Okay, because there's no self-loathing
I
about
like my
it. You should
food.
hate yourself.
No, I don't hate.
Well, you said hate.
Well, because I was saying like that.
Jamie, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, Jamie.
Yeah.
That you ate the box of ring dings.
Yeah.
By the way, we had a doctor chime in here. Let me get the. We have a lot of. By the way, we have a ton of doctors.
We're a learned group.
Yeah, we really do.
Donnie is a doctor. Donnie is how he signs, but Donald is on his thing. He said, Jamie, if you trot out the slow metabolism line about people who are obese, he said he's going to smack you.
Yeah, no, I know it's not the reason.
By the way, it
double
is
IPAs.
By the way, it is his specialty.
Yeah,
this is his specialty.
Oh,
and he
Donnie,
said,
come on in, talk to us.
And he said, and anyone with a slow metabolism, he says, and I'm going to quote him. He goes, anyone with a slow metabolism, what I would advise them to do is to cut down to a 1,400 or 1,300 calorie diet a day. Or some women can be on 1,000 to 1,200 a day.
You hear that, Coach?
And he said, you wean them off. I've never seen anyone become obese eating 1,200, 1,300,
no,
1,500
I've done
calories a day. He said, you lose weight. He says, it is intake, outtake.
Yeah, no, I know what my problem
is. He said,
is.
even people with slow metabolisms, he says, I meet with them. I'm trying to read exactly because I don't want to misquote him. I meet with different clients every day of the week. And the number one thing that people will say to me is, well, I have a slow metabolism. Most of them have never been diagnosed with slow metabolism. They've just been told that. He said, one thing you know, if you think you have a slow metabolism, you may or you may not.
Oh, I've been diagnosed.
And he says, but if you don't intake food, you will lose weight.
I know what my problem is. It's beer.
Is it beer?
Oh, yeah.
Why is liquid calories so bad?
Because I have a lot of them. Because I enjoy them.
No. But why are liquid calories
because
so bad?
I have a ton
because
of...
they're not necessary.
Because you always hear that.
Because you don't survive off of liquid calories.
By the way, he said he's a huge fan of the station, and he listens as often as possible, and he loves the fact that each show at the station seems to have a completely unique vibe to it. He says, I haven't figured out what the morning show's vibe is yet. I just know that some days it seems really stupid.
Well, that's good.
And he says, and it's exactly what I'm looking for on my drive to work.
What do you say, Doc? Thanks for listening.
Donnie, we love you. He says he cannot wait till FanFest.
Yeah,
he's been to two FanFests.
Oh, nice.
We need to talk about Donnie about the overindulgence, but we also need to talk to him about Coach.
Coach is underindulged.
Like 250 calories a day? I mean, my dog eats more than that.
Yeah. I have one double IPA, and it's 300 calories.
Yeah, you can't do it. Coach, you're not being healthy, though.
Yeah, we got to talk to
Donnie-
him.
Donnie's got
But
shame.
Coach,
Come on,
Coach looks good.
Give him a break because when the Hooters wings came, he broke his rule and he had one.
I thought you had 3.
He had 3 bites.
You had 3, right?
Whoa.
Did you have 3 of the wings?
I had 1.
You had 1 wing?
Yeah.
Who does that?
And you don't understand, that is huge for Coach who
But you
usually
put 3 in.
usually he eats 3 blades of grass and steam.
1 wing. Who does that?
You put 3 wings on your plate. What, did you have one and say, oh, I'm full?
No, we'll talk about it off air.
By the way, I know that Chuck came over.
Yeah.
We saw the boss over.
Mm-hmm.
He came over. I didn't see him eat, though.
He said he was going to.
He did.
He said, oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Because I didn't see him eat.
Well, to him, it's legitimately 8:30 in the morning. 'cause
I've never seen him eat, though. Except when I've eaten with him.
I have.
You have?
Now, this is weird. So there was some stuff going on.
Okay.
And I walked into some stuff around the office going on, which could have been unsettling, whatever. Might not have been a great time. And I walk into Chuck to talk to him, like, hey, bud, everything all right? And he's eating crackers or something or something.
Wasn't it
Cheez-Its?
Cheez-Its? Yeah.
And as we're talking, he's eating, and I casually said, are you a nervous eater or something like that? And he picks up his trash can and tilts it to me, and there was 4 empty things of Cheez-Its. He said, I've eaten these within the last hour. And I said, uh-oh, something's going on.
See, I love Cheez-Its.
And then a couple months later, you were here.
Well, it made me nervous. Bringing me into it made me nervous.
If I walk in his office and I see Cheez-Its out, I get...
You think there's trouble?
I start handing over my key card.
Patrick in Philadelphia joins us on The Fanatic. Patrick, good morning.
John, good morning, man. How are you?
Good, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, so we're talking about nervous tics or whatever, the repetitious sayings of like, I don't know why all these football, quote-unquote football guys somewhere down the line started saying right after every other word. Schefter does it constantly, and it just drives me nuts. It's like that, you're talking down to me and, looking for affirmation when you tell me something about football that I don't already know, which is...
So you're talking about, I'm making a point to you, Patrick, and you're going, right.
Right? Yeah, like, right, question mark, are you... It drives me nuts. If you go back and listen to it, he said right about as many times as he said like. It used to remind me, we used to play this game, I think Mike did, with Cole Hamels, because he said 50 times in every press conference, which is also hysterical. But
did he change it?
Yeah. No.
Did Cole did Cole change?
I don't know. I kind of stopped listening to it, but
Patrick, take care, buddy.
Thanks, Patrick. Patrick, I was going to bring that up earlier in the show, too. There is I don't want to say generation, a group of people that get into so we're going to run the 12 offense, right? And we're going to do this, right? So they say it all the time.
Well,
and there's a media member in town who does it all the time when he's explaining things, and it drives me
Every
batshit
one of
crazy.
us has crutches.
Sure.
Every one of them has that. There are not, though, head coaches who address, and again, I'm a geek. I admit it. I went back because everybody was trying to say yesterday, do you remember Andy Reid's first press conference? Remember Doug Peterson's? Because I went back and watched Andy Reid's before we did the Nick Siriani show, because that was a Friday press conference and before the Monday show. And when we started that Monday show, I read you reviews of the first press conference, and I said, these are the reviews from Andy Reid's first press conference where I said, give the guy a break. He's going to get better. I actually thought yesterday was worse. I thought yesterday was worse because of the fact that he had so much time to prepare for that moment.
Yeah.
He took so much criticism for the first time that I wouldn't have thought comparisons with his high school, his brother's high school coaching career and the frenetic nature of answering every question like this. I'm so excited. It seems not ready for prime time.
He's nervous as hell.
He may be a brilliant coach, though.
He could
and
be.
That's what I'm hoping for. He may be a mastermind. And I'm willing to wait and see. I'm not judging that he's going to be a terrible coach, but I have less faith in him because of how I'm seeing him present himself.
And it's funny, one of the things that you keep going to, him talking about his brother, the point that he was making in that was one of the few things I liked about what he said.
Yes.
Honest to God.
Adopting to your players.
Saying that in the course of looking at the talent that I have, I need to adjust it to something else.
That's all he needed to say, too.
Right, exactly. Now, him equating it to a high school, it's going to be a lot faster trying to do it in the NFL. Hopefully he has that slow down eye where if he sees that he doesn't have the talent to run something, he's going to change. But the fact that the idea is in his head, because I've seen too many coaches come into this town and say, this is what we're doing, no matter what the talent, I kind of appreciate that a little bit.
The beauty of Bill Belichick when he was, had Tom Brady and was successful, every game was unique.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even year to year. It was week to week. He did whatever it took to beat that team. And that's the real good sign of a coach.
Andrew says the fact that he was a sought-after Frank Reich devotee is enough for me. And all I will say to you is...
Sought after by one team.
Sought after by nobody. Sought after by... If you're going to make a case in defense of Nick Sirianni, do not come with, well, the guy was a sought after, and no, he wasn't sought after by anyone.
Didn't somebody say that he was going to be next year?
Next year, he could have had the hot.
Yes.
He could have been a hot. Adam said.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was Adam.
He was off people's radar.
He was on the back burner.
Potentially down the line, he ascends. And once again, Andy Reid never called plays in the NFL, never was an offensive coordinator. Doug Peterson never called plays. I have no doubt that this man could be successful. There's no doubt. He could be. And I'm willing to say, we'll wait and see, and we'll evaluate him fairly.
Well, correct me.
But I have less confidence, and if you go and you watch Andy Reid and Doug Peterson's first press conferences, do not compare them to what you saw from Nick Sirianni. It is a fake story. Andy did not come off like that. Andy came off like a boring, no energy, drab person. Which, by the way...
Let's go have a ham sandwich.
His press conferences sort of came off like that for the rest of his career.
Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong.
But it wasn't him being overwhelmed.
Andy wasn't sought after by other teams. I believe he only interviewed here.
He was a total surprise.
Total surprise.
Total surprise.
There...
Absolutely. Doug Peterson was a total surprise as far as head coach.
Right.
The only problem I've got, again, you passed on guys like Eric Bieniemy. And you didn't even interview Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
For a lot of conflicting stories about why that might not have happened, whatever. You didn't even interview. There were top-notch guys that would have taken this job in a second.
I think we're going to find something out about Nick Sirianni that maybe we don't know yet. Like with Andy Reid, if you remember, John, back then, and I'm sure you do, the biggest thing about him getting hired was the talk of he had notebook upon notebook upon notebook.
A 5-year plan.
5-year plan, and he went in there and wowed them with that. They thought they were bringing in a nobody to talk to, see what he was like, and he was ready for it. There probably is something about Nick Sirianni that he did in these interviews that we're guessing because we've seen him talk 2 times at a press conference now, but there must have been something.
He might have done the cherry stem trick. I don't know.
Yeah.
With his tongue.
Those are impressive.
I don't know. But to me, it's the idea that if Nick Sirianni had done that, using that example, the binders, the folders of here's my plan for this. If he had done that, wouldn't Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman have told us that?
Yeah, you would think we would have found out in some way or another.
They told us it about Andy.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did something in those interviews that impressed them. Like, I have to believe that because otherwise it's nonsensical. Where, yeah, he had to have been impressive.
Chris in Yardley joins us on the John Kincade Show. Hi, Chris.
Hey, gentlemen, how are we today?
What's up, Chris? Chris, you got a great voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's the best compliment I'll get all day. I'm not going to worry about speaking disfluencies. And the reason for that is anyone who comes out and speaks perfectly has prepared. And I don't want a coach who has to prepare for questions from the media. What I'd rather have is a coach who comes out and can speak. I don't know if you remember, but there was something that Andy Reid did that used to drive us all nuts, and that was the that weird guttural growl he would do where he was clearing his throat, and then he would lay BS on us. And I don't care if he said 1,000 times. What I was more concerned with was the content of what he was saying.
And you liked the content?
No, I hated it. What I'm saying
I'm talking about Nick Sirianni's content.
No.
I thought it was horrible content.
Oh, no. He worries me like hell. I just want to.
There you go,
guy
buddy.
He makes me want to drink a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think what we're looking at as fans of the team, we're overlooking a great deal of the issues that our team has right now.
There you go.
And that's what bothers me.
Okay.
So,
Well, we're going to get into we'll get into all those, and I appreciate it, Chris, with the great voice.
Oh, he does an unbelievable Sam Elliott.
Oh my gosh!
I was trying to signal you to say, let him do a little Sam Elliott.
Great voice.
He's an old friend. Chris is an old friend.
Hey, this update is brought to you by the Parks Casino Sportsbook app. You can download it at parkscasino.com/PA and use the promo code Fanatic. By the way, new wagers right now, you can get a $50 free bet, too, which you might want to put on Drexel today. Or you might want to
115.
Or Winthrop.
You all dragoned up, Johnny?
I'm just hoping that
Let's go, Spiker.
I'm just hoping that the flight that I didn't get one of the Fugazi planes.
Without the TV.
That doesn't have the screen.
That would be killer.
I don't want the Fugazi, no, where I'm looking, it's the back of someone's head on the plane.
Oh, you didn't get the private jet this time?
I don't do that. Oh. And I would never, by the way, I won't even.
Have you ever been on a private jet?
Yes. I've been on Air Shack.
Okay.
You can do that. It was real good for you.
Sorry, I had such a stupid
question. Honestly, guess what? We were going to LA. We were going to LA, though, and I would not do Air Shack.
Too far?
I said no.
Why?
No. Because what planes go down? Commercial airliners or the little planes? What do you always hear about? No, thanks. No, thanks.
John Denver, sir.
Put me on. He ran out of gas.
Payne Stewart.
He ran out of. No, John Denver ran out of gas.
Want to keep playing this game?
You're flying a plane.
Best of luck.
Which is another thing. You're flying a plane and you don't even check the fuel before you take off? Man, come on now.
The book hatchet.
Hooters. If you need a wing fix, get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. I refuse, though. I refuse to do the. I'm not getting on a plane to go cross country in a private jet. I'm not doing it.
I would like to get on a private jet sometime.
You would really?
I've never done it. Yeah, my cousin does it for work all the time.
Not doing it. By the way, it's not as expensive as you think.
These like net jets or fly jet,
not as
whatever
expensive
the
as
hell
you think.
it is.
They're not. So I'm too cheap. I wouldn't do it. I absolutely wouldn't do it.
I'm not too cheap. I just couldn't afford it.
Absolutely. Okay. Coming up in the final hour of the show, there are pluses and there are minuses. We'll give you both sides of the fence. It's the John Kincaid Show. This is 97.5 The Fanatic. And I want to remind you again, Hooters is the official hangout for wings, beer, your Hooters girls, and game day. Why don't you play hooky at Hooters this afternoon? Your boss doesn't even care. Watch all the basketball action this season with the Hooters girls, enjoying ice-cold beer, some great seafood, and Hooters-style famous wings. If you need the wing fix, and I'm going to tell you the roasted wings are a personal favorite, get all of your Hooters menu items to go at Hooters.com, HootersToGo.com, with the world-famous wings delivered right to your home or available for pickup. Visit HootersToGo.com and place your order today. Whether you want them traditional or boneless, breaded or naked, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be delicious, and it brings the party to you. And if wings aren't your thing, you know that Hooters menu gives you a wide variety of sandwiches, salads, and seafood too, so everybody can find something they love. Hooters is the original wing joint since 1983. We love Clearwater, Florida, don't we? Visit northeasthooters.com and find the location nearest you.
The John Kincaid Show.
Say it. I'll say it. Loser, putz, dork, doof, dink, schmo, dingus, goober.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Today's John Kincaid Show takeover is brought to you by Hooters. Need a wing fix? Get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com.
It's cuz I want to talk about my uncle's family, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Uncle Greg, and Uncle Paul going all out for the Jeep celebration event. Get huge deals, humongous deals on your favorite models. Drive home a new Jeep 4x4 today for $159 down or $159 a month. Your choice. Complete the entire buying process online. Just shop, click, and drive. They'll even deliver right to your doorstep. You rather visit the showroom? They make that easy and safe, too. Your safety still family's #1 priority, and they take extra precautions to protect you and your vehicle. Just schedule an appointment. They'll take care of the rest. Celebrate 80 years of Jeep at Philly's original Jeep dealer. Family. Call, click, or go visit them today. The Philadelphia Airport Auto Mall. Just remember, family, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You're more than a customer. Yeah, you're family. Online anytime at FamilyAutos.com. See the uncles for details. The offer expires March 31st, 2021.
When you're running a business, you don't have time to worry about slow internet or confusing cybersecurity. So get fast, reliable internet from Comcast Business on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. You can add the advanced security of Comcast Business Security Edge to help eliminate threats. And enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing 24/7 support is just a phone call away. Get fast internet and advanced security made simple so you can bounce forward with Comcast Business. Get started with 100 megabits per second internet for just $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. And ask how you can add Comcast Business Security Edge. And for a limited time, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card when you upgrade. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Offer ends 3/28/21. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second service customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, installation, taxes, and fees are extra and subject to change. Security Edge available when added to Comcast Business Internet for additional monthly charge. Call for details.
Experience March like never before because fans are welcome at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You can bet the bracket and watch every game live all tournament long on our 52-foot LED media wall display. And with tons of betting kiosks, you won't miss a thing waiting in line. Treat yourself like a #1 seed. Get off the bench and into the action at FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Your home for college hoops all tournament long. Must be 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Goodyear knows why we all love basketball. It's the sound of the buzzer, the roar of the crowd, the swish of the net. It's the spin on the ball as it's released, the squeaking sneakers before an inbound pass, the timeout that gives us perspective on the moment. We love basketball because we love movement. And so we're asking you, the fans, what moves you? Goodyear, more driven.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Hey, it's Mike Miss here. You know, Philly sports is big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports Reports, powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, just go to pico.com/more savings.
Ready for cash back? Get 1.5% unlimited cash back with the Citadel Cash Rewards MasterCard. And for a limited time, enjoy a 0% intro annual percentage rate for 9 months. Visit citadelbanking.com/intro. Terms and conditions apply.
It is tournament time. And with so many games going on, who wants to bet just one? That's why I love betting parlays on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. It's a great way to combine bets from different games for an even bigger payout. And guess what? FanDuel is here to help if your parlay doesn't go as planned. They'll give you up to $25 back inside credit if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. That's 1 parlay per day each day of the tournament. for new and existing users. I just filled out my bracket earlier this week, and I hate to say it, but I kind of went chalk, and I like Michigan going all the way. And that's why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. They're always hooking us up. The app is so easy to use, so many bet options to choose from, and always on promotions. And when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 24 hours. If you've been thinking about signing up, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Bob so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Bob. Must be 21 or older and present in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund is $25. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia. Now, back to the John Kincaid Show.
Thank God this is radio, or you'd have to be looking at my face.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
You put up the boss all week long. It's time for you to party. Tell him to take that job and shove it. The weekend's here. Unless you really like your job and you don't want the boss to hate you. It's the John Kincaid Show. That is an homage to my buddy Nick Cellini. Hello, Nick, who would do that every single Friday. Good job. We appreciate you being a part of the show. The John Kincaid Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic from the 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to bagster.com. And I realized I made another mistake today that I guess I'm just off my game traveling today. Now it's like we're getting ready to head out earlier, and I'm putting on my mask. And I said, I bought the wrong mask. So I rotate my masks all the time. I got Eagles mask. I got Sixers mask.
Right.
I brought the 97.5 The Fanatic mask.
That could never be a wrong mask, John.
There's nothing more. I don't like the word. I don't like using the word. The D word.
Are you asking me to say it?
Ushi. Sounds like Ushi.
Gucci.
For me to be in the airport wearing that mask.
Why? You're representing the station.
I feel the same way.
But then it'd be like, oh, do you want somebody to come over to you and say that? And I brought that mask. No, I brought another one in my bag. So
I was going to say, I always keep like 3 in the car.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. I have all clean ones in a certain part of the car, and then I have a rotation of 2 that sit there where I can grab them together.
Okay.
I like to grab them to match my outfits.
I put zero thought into it.
But you're the same way, though. Like, I would never wear anything with my name on it.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't go to a game wearing a jersey that said Lynch.
No, but I have... The Union are awesome with their gifts.
They are awesome.
And I've gotten some personalized jerseys that are great beach shirts. Now, and it has my last name on it, and I feel like a
Coach got the kicks.
Yeah, those are nice kicks.
Okay, here's what I would say, though, is...
But they're great beach shirts.
The Union sent those great beach shirts.
Yeah.
I'll wear that down at Hammock Beach this summer.
Yeah.
As like a pool shirt. When I go hang out with the Sons of Ben, I will not wear the shirt that has my name on the back of it. I will wear something else Union.
Yeah.
I will wear, but I wouldn't wear my name on it. You know what I mean? Bob, you never would. There's no way you're wearing Cooney out.
No.
They wouldn't, exactly.
Unless if I go to one of my kids' games, maybe, and I have one of their jerseys.
Yeah, you're
and their jerseys, and their names on the back of their jersey, then maybe, yeah.
And they've got your name, which is great.
Yeah, no.
That's great.
Yeah.
Does your daughter have senioritis yet, by the way?
She had it since about the second grade.
Senior sliding.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was just informed that we are hosting a party tonight at my house, speaking of senioritis.
And you had no idea? Oh, really?
Yeah, of about 15 seniors.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what's your first question?
Is everybody sleeping over? Is that the question?
But it's a boy-girl party.
Ooh.
But it's not a party. It's like these guys hang out together all the time. They're all best of friends and stuff like that. So my first question had to do with that.
Olivia's already said it.
It's all cool.
Is looking at she's seen the model home that we're building, and she says, oh, that'll be great because I would be able to have friends from college come and hang out, and then they could sleep over, and we've got a big basement that they could sleep in.
Right.
I said, so they're going to be sleeping on my man cave couches? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You believe
floor.
The floor would be fine.
No, they'll be sleeping on the couch.
Floor would be fine.
Just get yourself ready for it.
Really?
Because the friend's house growing up that had the cool basement was always the place to be.
Sure.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so those couches take some abuse. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Don't tell me that.
Because
Because
I'm trying to break it to you.
And always know if your daughter has somebody sleeping over. Because there has been a time recently where I got up early on a Sunday morning.
Oh, no.
And Jamie knows this story. So I got up early on a Sunday morning to go walking with my buddy who lives about 15 minutes away. He lives on lakes, and it's a beautiful walk over there. So I get up early in the morning, get up like, 6:30 or so. We're meeting at 7 to go walking. Well, I'm just about to leave the house. I'm like, I got to,
Take care of business.
And I go into the bathroom downstairs and come out and, shut the door and look, and boom, there's one of my daughter's friends on the couch like 5 feet away. I was like,
Should I woken up? Hey, as we head off into this weekend after what has been a very fun week.
Funky ass smell.
By the way, we would call it the best week of Pat Egan's John Kincaid Show career.
Good job, Pat.
And today's Instagram post and social media
all downhill
post,
from here.
Truly incredible. Pat's had an incredible week.
Yeah, he's been strong.
Please accept my resignation.
But as we head off into the weekend, let's try and attack the Eagles from a positive angle. Because I doubt many are going to line up to throw bouquets the way of Harvey Roseman. So let's keep this in a more uplifting tone. What do you feel confident about in the Eagles' new head coach? And it's sort of what I got to the last caller with about. You've heard him now speak at multiple press conferences. I voiced my concerns. You may have yours. But what are you totally buying into? Because I am someone who believes everyone deserves a shot. But as I talked about from Anthony's show yesterday, I don't believe you owe anyone blind faith, and I agreed with Cuz on that. But I'm going to start. I think Nick Sirianni could have an infectious energy, a positive vibe, fun to come to work guy. And if he gets off to a good start, I could see this city absolutely falling in love with him. Because he seems like a good guy. He's pretty charming in his energy. And he's energized. Does that mean he's on good footing to succeed as an NFL head coach? Absolutely not. That's still going to have to be convincing. But if I'm looking at what are the positives I'm taking away from what we've seen of Nick Sirianni so far, I'm believing it could be that. Because positive energy can change a building. And that's where we begin the final hour of the week with Bob and with Pat and with Jamie and with Coach. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The positive thing you take away, Bob, you've watched 2 press conferences. What's the positive thing?
Yeah, the energy that we use against him a little bit, all the nervousness, I don't mind. I like the energy. I really do. This guy is excited to coach. And Jamie and I were just talking about it as we walked down to get coffee on the last break. When you have a guy, don't forget, his main group here is, 25, 26, 27-year-old?
Correct.
Right? So when you go to a personality, hey, let's go, here we go. We got this, and we're doing this, and this is what we got. That's going to hype those guys up. It takes a special older coach who's more settled, who is, look, you need to hit this gap, and this is where we're ceiling here and that. To be that, I think young guys relate more maybe to the energetic guy.
And then the position coach can be more...
The position coach could be that, or the head coach first comes in with this fire and brimstone, and then it's like, okay, now look, here's how we have to do it. So you can come in with energy and then show the X's and O's smartness that you have, but it's hard to come in kind of, steady and then build it up to the energy. So I don't mind energy coming first. Let the smarts come later.
That's positive.
One positive for him is I don't think there's any expectations. And I know how that kind of sounds, but the bar is so low. Like, I don't think anybody's expecting much from...
And they really shouldn't, right?
No, I mean, we literally know.
You're the only person.
We know nothing about him. I don't know what his
You're
coaching...
farting rainbows over there about what they can do.
No, he's farting, all right.
I give people rope and to prove me wrong.
No, about the team. You think they could win the division in the right scenario.
I mean, if the division winner is like 6 or 7 wins, yeah, sure. I do like the energy. And he might be able to relate to a lot of this roster because not only are they young and inexperienced, these are guys fighting for their jobs and their careers. And they're kind of on equal footing in terms of we have a lot to prove. And there might be a bond, a chemistry that forms, and it kind of plays into that energy.
Well, we're proving it together?
Yeah, kind of. Like, if I can match your energy as a player that needs to make it in the league, like I'm a coach that needs to make it in this league, let's attack this 110% every day, and that energy can become an extreme positive for him.
Pat, you have to have something.
I have two, actually.
Oh, well,
the first thing is the first time we found out that Nick Sirianni was going to be the head coach, me and you had the exact same thought. At least it's not Josh McDaniels.
Yes.
The second thing,
and that absolutely was.
The second more recent thing is actually something that you guys used against him, and it was the brother story. And we have the quote. We can play it if you want, but when you hear him talk about his brothers, did you notice something in that entire 41-second diatribe of a story that no one cared about? He never said like. And I think when he gets in a room and he truly believes something, and I'm not saying he didn't believe what he was saying up there, but I think he was trying too hard to do coach speak and he was using crutches. But I think when he actually gets in a room with players and he believes something.
Can we hear it again?
Yeah.
We know the sign of a good coach is using the personnel. Like, I love to have a chance to brag on my brother. Like, my brother, I think, is the best football. He doesn't coach high school football anymore. But what he did at Southwestern High School was he won a state championship running the pro system. Then he had the athletes to run a spread system, and he ran the spread system, and they won a state championship. And 3 years later, he had no athletes. Sorry to any of those Southwestern kids that are listening. He had no athletes. They turned to the wing tee, ran the wing tee, and went to the stinking state championship game. They didn't win the state championship game. So, whatever. My point is, and again, I love saying that because I love my brother, and I love bragging on him. But my point is, that's a sign of a good coach.
So he says it 3 times at the beginning.
Before he gets into the story.
Before he gets into the story. And I think when he actually gets into a locker room to fire these guys up, he's going to believe what he's saying.
Okay.
And I actually think he'll motivate him.
Pat, I think you just did the best one.
I'll see myself out. Once again, this is...
Wow. I think Pat's was maybe the best one.
Well, yeah.
Because that absolutely went over my head.
We talked about it being a nervousness crutch. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but when he talked about his brother,
he was comfortable.
Okay.
And there's something he did in that interview where he came off as comfortable. Otherwise, Jeffrey and Howie are insane.
Well, tell me where I was most uncomfortable with him, Pat. And you know what? Cut to play. Where I was not the first one with all the likes. The one where he blatantly lied to everybody.
To see the young talent on this team, like, I think Howie and his staff have done such a good job of getting young talent in here. Like, and what's exciting to be able to work with the guys that are currently on this roster. Like, these are the guys that are currently on these rosters. Like, these are the guys that I fell in love with, a couple years ago in the draft or last year in the draft. Like, you don't get to recruit the guys. It's like, oh, shoot, the Eagles took them. I don't get a chance to work. I get a chance to work with them now.
7 likes.
Yeah, exactly.
You, Pat.
Wow.
You freaking cracked the code.
That's what I did. It's a Da Vinci Code.
There were 7 likes in there. Because
he's like the Wu-Tang generator all over again.
So in that one, when he's telling the Howie story, he's lying. Because it's absolutely lying. No one in NFL circles is going around bragging about the Eagles roster and saying, look at the chock full of young talent on that roster.
Minnesota laughed last year when they took Jalen Reagor. Literally laughed. And couldn't get Justin Jefferson's name in quick enough.
Pat, you cracked the code.
I'm Robert Langdon. I cracked the Da Vinci Code.
I think you did. I really do.
Yeah? Well, you are impressed with Pat this week.
Pat, you've had a great week. You really have.
I'm sorry I missed a day. And I missed all of your genius.
It's only going downhill next week.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I'm absolutely impressed by that. I'm impressed by that because, again, I always enjoy it when, look, we're doing this show, but I always enjoy it. It's one of the reasons why we do not talk about things before we come on the air. Where we just sort of set up, Bob's going to bring something to the table so we know sort of in general what to be prepared for, but we don't know where he's going with it, is that I'm actually very, very impressed by that because that is an interesting way to look at it. I want Nick Sirianni to be successful. And by the way, he seems like an incredibly likable guy.
Yeah.
I can tell you he doesn't seem like I observed up close and personal Kyle Shanahan. Insufferable ass is all I will tell you. I didn't know him.
His face kind of matches that personality.
Kyle Shanahan always will act like he's arrived before he's arrived, even though I think he is the best play caller in the NFL.
He's good.
No one calls a game better than he does, and that includes Andy Reid. I think Kyle Shanahan's the best. I think he can win with players that he can find ways to win with players that other people can't win with. He's got a brilliant system, but insufferable ass. And Nick Sirianni doesn't have that about him at all.
No, when someone gets that much excitement talking about something he loves, and it's his brother, okay,
Makes
and
me
then
feel good.
Then you combine it with football, and it's two of the biggest loves of his life, and football's huge in their family. His father, his brother, him. There's a genuineness there that I like. This excitement thing, is it sophomoric a little bit? Sure. But is it refreshing?
Is it contagious to the locker room?
I think it's refreshing and could be contagious. You're
There's
right.
no way he believes that this roster is full of young talent.
Well, no.
And more importantly, he doesn't think Howie. No one in NFL circles thinks Howie's done a great job.
No, I mean,
with finding a talent.
that was
So
cute.
stop doing that.
The Colts picked 34th and 41st last year, and both their picks were better than Jalen Reagor's rookie year. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lie, but whatever.
Speeding puts you, your passengers, and others on the road at risk. So why don't you slow down and save a life? Be safe, PA. You can get more at penn.gov/safety. And that's paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars. I will take that into consideration as I drive to the airport, which is the best way to go to the airport from one Bala. Gentlemen.
What is the best way? Well, you got
to just jump onto the 76?
Yeah,
and
I would,
go
yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's some bad stretches of that, though, where it's so tight and so...
76 is the worst.
You can follow me.
That I was
got you.
wondering about
I'll
going
block
on,
for you.
but I was wondering about going on to driving on over and just jumping onto the blue route.
You can do that also.
Because I know I'll never have. I know I'm not going to ever hit. I know I'm never going to hit a traffic jam or a shutdown.
I just trust Waze, whatever it tells me.
So you do trust that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your flight's at like 1, right?
Yeah.
And you're going straight from here?
Yeah, I'm going to go straight.
Are you
I'm not going to rush. Oh no, I got plenty of time.
Yeah,
Are you a beer cocktail before a flight in the airport guy?
I don't need to.
No, but I love
No.
having a
Do you
beer at
want
the airport.
to?
I love people watching.
Since I've got the in Philly airport and I fly Delta because Delta back and forth to Albuquerque is the best. There's a Dunkin' Donuts right there, so I will always
you get your iced tea?
get myself an D.
D.
It's
Okay.
always D. I'll get me an iced tea there. But they have closed out. They've closed up all the other stuff. I've been in and out of this airport, a bunch, and like the Annie Ann's isn't open. I'm like, why is the Annie Ann's not open?
A good item to take on a plane.
Oh, Annie Ann's is fantastic.
Yes.
And you know what would be good
I
too?
would get the nuggets.
I could pack some of the world famous wings from Hooters and take them with me too.
You should.
You know, you're going to love all your basketball watching, and if you're having Hooters at home, you are throwing the party of all parties. So visit HootersToGo.com.
They tweeted me back this morning, the lovely people at Hooters.
Really?
Aww.
I said, a full plate of wings down by 8 a.m. It truly is March Madness.
See, that is great. Now, I hope Bruce Scala is listening this morning from Hooters. I know the Hooters people are listening.
I think we just became best friends.
If he is, I snuck Hooters into the movies one time.
Well, great. Bruce Scala is the big VP for Hooters, like nationwide. Bruce, if he's listening today, and I know he has caught the show sometimes. If Bruce is listening, Bruce, we need some cards.
What do you mean?
The Hooters card.
Whoa.
All I'm going to tell you is there's a thing called the Hooters card.
Whoa.
I haven't gotten one in Philadelphia. I had one in Albuquerque. All I will tell you is
I think it just moved, John.
There's a card. Believe me, you'll be happy if it does. Carson Wentz said yesterday in his press conference that what happened in Philadelphia, what happened to him in Philadelphia was totally out of his control. I don't know. By the way, he had, 4 months of living in the cave?
Yeah.
And going out and hunting?
Yeah.
And he actually said, as an NFL starting quarterback, well, what happened in Philadelphia was totally out of my control. No, it wasn't. In fact, it was completely in your control. You're the starting quarterback. It was completely in your control. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It was, what happened in Philly was completely out of my control. No, it wasn't. Being pouty boy was out of your control. Being up in your feelings because they drafted another quarterback was out of your control. No, you're in complete control of that.
I don't know if we're ever going to find out exactly what happened.
We won't.
With this whole thing.
No.
But I would love to find out what each person involved
happened.
thinks happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would love to hear what Howie thinks happened. I would love to hear what Doug Peterson thinks happened, and same thing with Carson Wentz, because I have a feeling
I think he's an
you would get
face.
3 totally different stories.
Entirely true.
Right?
Yep.
The perception of those 3 of what happened could be on totally different levels.
Absolutely could. And by the way, every one of them could be in some way telling the truth.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Because some of it will be based on perception.
Absolutely.
And there are some people who are up in their feelings people, and I absolutely believe from the research I've done on the story that is where Carson lands.
Yeah.
He is one of those up in his feelings people. But Howie Roseman and his treatment of Carson Wentz, we've seen that documented.
Yeah.
That I could see Carson Wentz saying, screw this guy. I don't like him, don't want to work with him, and I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be parts of truth in every one
They're
of
all
what they say.
wrong.
Yes.
All 3, because of the outcome, all
They're
3
all
of them
wrong.
had an input in being wrong.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that Carson Wentz said he realized this might not be it after the first game he got benched.
That's incredible.
Like, that's really insulting.
He wilted.
Yeah.
He wilted
you
under
had
the pressure.
3 months to address the question you knew was coming your way, and you say the first game you were benched, you realize it might not be it? Dude, what?
That's incredible. That's like saying the first time your boss criticizes you at work or tears into you at work, I'm done. I'm done. This isn't for me.
I was stunned by that.
I think
it's a horrible answer.
It's a horrible answer, and also too, if I wasn't the best teammate to my teammates, I'm sorry. Why not just saying some teammates I had great rapport with, others I probably could have done better with, and there were some things, and I
learned.
I know I learned.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
I was shocked by yesterday.
The brag by them about him was that he never got to be on a test. I wonder what his reaction would have been, because he probably was never benched before either, and the reaction was horrible.
And if you get a B on a test, it can freak people out.
I guess.
If you always get A's. Now me, when I got the A, it freaked me out. I was like, what happened?
Did I cheat? What happened?
What happened?
What's that
man.
letter?
All right, if you want to get in with us and share some of your thoughts, we would love to have you. Join us at 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Plus, this guy is supposed to have a big year. He's going to have a happy year, I'll tell you that. It's the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Oh, my friends from Hooters, they're absolutely awesome. You know, the Hooters has the world-famous wings that you know and love, available for pickup or delivery. You can visit HootersToGo.com to place an order today. Now, some of you don't want to go and hang out in person yet with the Hooters girls. Now, I'm not one to judge. So you want to bring the party to your house? Well, then get the world-famous wings, traditional or boneless, breaded or naked, made fresh for you, and you can get them for delivery or for pickup. You're going to love Hooters because it's going to give you the great feeling that March is back to normal. We wanted this tournament so bad last year. We didn't get it. It's always fun. You're hanging out. And guys, you're going to impress your guests. You're bringing Hooters to the house. It just goes that extra mile. So you want to check out Hooters? HootersToGo.com. Place your order today. And we thank Hooters for being a part of this Friday John Kincade Show takeover.
The John Kincade Show.
Sir, one more outburst, I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Today's John Kincade Show takeover is brought to you by Hooters. Get world-famous wings you know and love for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com.
Adam Schefter, every Wednesday morning at 8:10 a.m.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook.
I believe by the Eagles' pick at 6, I think there'll be 4 quarterbacks picked. And so I will not be surprised if there are 4 quarterbacks that go up before them, and they're sitting there with their choice of these other guys.
Adam Schefter, every Wednesday morning at 8:10 a.m.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
And on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the college basketball action. Bet $4 on an underdog in select college basketball games, and if they win, you collect $256. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Since the dawn of time, men and women have fought over one thing, the temperature. It's too hot. It's too cold. I'm sweating. I'm freezing. It's time to end the thermostat wars. It's time to give peace a chance. It's time for a high-efficiency heating and cooling system for even, consistent heat in your home. And with Trane's whole house air filtration system, you'll breathe cleaner, healthier air. Visit Trane.com to find an independent Trane comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a Trane.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
These days, it's okay to do some things halfway, like wearing your pajama bottoms on a work call. But managing your prescriptions shouldn't be one of them. That's why CVS has a proprietary search tool to find ways that may help lower your prescription costs, and will deliver them for free. No wonder CVS customers are better than most at staying on prescriptions, which tends to make you healthier. Come in or call today and get a free prescription savings review at CVS. Savings vary. Not all patients eligible for savings. Delivery restrictions apply. Visit cvs.com for details.
O'Reilly. Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your car. Like 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, just $26.99. Extend the life of your vehicle and improve performance with a synthetic oil change. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Experience March like never before because fans are welcome at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You can bet the bracket and watch every game live all tournament long on our 52-foot LED media wall display. And with tons of betting kiosks, you won't miss a thing waiting in line. Treat yourself like a #1 seed. Get off the bench and into the action at FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Your home for college hoops all tournament long. Must be 21 or older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business and powered by Intel Core processors. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
So many razors. How do you choose? Dollar Shave Club has a premium 6-blade cartridge designed for daily shavers and a 4-blade cartridge that's for less frequent shavers. And they put both blades in one new starter box. So now you can test drive both. If only it was that easy to choose your bracket every March. At least when it comes to razors, they got you. For more info, visit dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. That's dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. And check out DSC at your nearest store. You got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Goodyear knows why we all love basketball. It's the sound of the buzzer, the roar of the crowd, the swish of the net. It's the spin on the ball as it's released, the squeaking sneakers before an inbound pass, the timeout that gives us perspective on the moment. We love basketball because we love movement. And so we're asking you, the fans, what moves you? Goodyear, more driven.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 97.5thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on radio.com. Live.
The Parx Casino Sportsbook app. I want you to feel like you were totally immersed in the tournament. And I want you to also get a $50 free bet for being a new customer and downloading the Parx Casino Sportsbook app and getting yourself registered. A free $50 bet. How about that? But I want you to feel the tournament. I want you watching the games, and I want you involved. $1 here, $2 here, $3 there. You can have some fun. And you can put your expertise on the line. Jamie Lynch just totally dismissed some great guidance that Bob and I were giving him. Look, the Parx Casino Sportsbook app allows you to show you're the big boy. You got the insights. So that's what you have to do. Download the app today and get involved. A few bucks here, a few bucks there. You are going to have the best tournament you've ever had. So if your bracket's busted, you got the Parx Casino Sportsbook app and a chance to redeem yourself. Check out my friends at Parx Casino. By the way, see Anthony there today and Monday for his show. It's going to be awesome.
Now, back to the John Kincaid Show.
It's really good to be back home in Philly, but do not believe anyone who tells you winter doesn't really suck.
On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Today's show brought to you and taken over by our friends at Hooters. Get world-famous wings that you know and love. For all your basketball watching, visit HootersToGo.com. Gentleman did say here, he goes, John, I hope you would not be that guy on the plane. The guy who brings on food that has a strong odor.
Annie Ann's is safe.
Annie Ann's is fine. No, he's talking about the wings. He was thinking I was taking the wings the wings have a great aroma.
I was leaving New Orleans once, and I wasn't feeling in tip-top shape, as you do leaving that city sometimes. And a woman brought on an egg platter and sat next to me.
Oh, my gosh.
I wanted to physically remove her from the plane.
Oh, I'd want to. The smell of eggs sometimes, and I will eat eggs.
I love eggs.
I will eat a fried egg.
If they're not your eggs, the smell can get you.
And two, if an egg smell, there is a smell to eggs that were cooked 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
An egg fresh off the griddle compared to an egg that's been sitting for 20 minutes that someone then opens up the box.
Sure.
And I was like, first of all, just be more considerate on planes.
Yes.
Just had some dry heaves.
Gentleman says, sends me an email, and he says, I will get to meet you today because I'm on your flight.
That's great.
Says,
Nice.
Because Bob said, well, what time's your flight? He said, flight. He goes, I will get to meet you today because I am on your flight.
Oh, very good.
And you will not be able to. I did bring the other mask, so I will be switching out of my mask. So don't look for me in the Fanatic mask. Now, I can wear that in Atlanta.
He has on an Eagles shirt, though.
I do.
Well, your head of hair is your tell.
I'm pointing you out.
The head of hair is the
The silver hair, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's unique. You stand out.
It is unique. It is. Unless I'm Joe Z.
Yeah, that's true. You and Joe Z could be doppelgangers.
One of our sales weasels, Joe Z.
Wow,
Jeez, man.
Wow.
John woke up and chose
Friday.
He's got the, Joe Z has the hair that
Dude.
Joe's the best. Joe knows I love him.
He is great.
Joe knows I love him. He is finely coiffed.
He is very finely
He's your
coiffed.
competition here.
No, Joe's put together though.
Yeah.
Joe
he's
always
a runner.
dressed perfectly.
Joe and I were right next to each other on Saturday, and we missed each other. You ever have that? Like you were right near somebody, and
What do you mean you're right next to each other?
So Joe ran a race out in Medford, New Jersey on Saturday morning, and then went to a local P.J. Wellahan's right there.
Well, that's always a good choice.
He was sitting outside having a couple of beers. I had to drop something off in Medford and went to go see one of my friends who lives right there. I passed right by where Joe was, didn't know he was there. That bothers me.
That does bother me when you get a chance.
That bothers me, yeah.
Josie should send you his itinerary every single day.
I know, it sounds silly, but it does. It bothers me.
I will tell you,
reason.
there is an app, by the way.
Find my friends.
Where
you can do it in the iPhone.
Where you can say, you could put Jamie and Pat and everything like that on an app.
We just have to accept
and
each
I'd be
other's.
Like, why do I want to know where somebody is at all times? Olivia's on that, the one at the teenagers, Life 360.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her mother are on the app with each other.
Yeah, well, the past year is pretty boring. I'm pretty much home or here.
You see, now that's what I say though is that we lived a different pandemic.
Yeah.
But like Christina once then said, you're a driver. We're going to know where you are at all times.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what, Jenna? Absolutely. The boys, for some reason, I didn't.
And I don't want them. They're like, Dad, you should join. Olivia's like, Dad, you should join Life 360. I want to know you're safe. Like if you're going, so I'm like, Olivia, you don't need to know. You don't need to track me on an app. Your dad's safe.
She's an old soul, isn't she?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You wouldn't know. You never met her.
I didn't.
She very much is though an old soul. She's very much an old soul.
Yeah.
And
you're gonna love Olivia. No, I'm not kidding you.
No, she's great.
You know why? he doesn't talk when she's around.
Well, I got to give the floor.
Like, he clams up. He had his hands behind his back. Olivia and I had a nice conversation. Didn't utter a syllable.
Well,
and I was
because-
like, oh, Olivia, I love you.
Because it's a pet peeve of mine.
I'm teasing
It's
you.
a pet peeve of mine when parents
Upstage
are,
the children.
Yes. I won't do at her school. Now it's a school, and it's a very athletics focused school. I had a very visible job in that community, and I would be asked to do things at her school. I said, I will ask my daughter, and people would laugh. And I'd say, no, I'm asking my daughter permission because this is her school.
Sure.
It's not dad's chance to think.
Sure.
I go to school, I go to the football games, which I really enjoy. They have a great football program, so it's fun to watch. I go to the football games. I am in the background.
Does she say yes or no? And
Every time she says yes. She goes, Dad, you can stop asking me. Say yes. I said, no. I'm going to ask you every time because this is your school. This is it.
Can we do if you're on YouTube, you see behind Bob, we don't always, but a couple times a week we have a cutout.
Yes.
Today is Snoop. Can we do an Olivia cutout?
Yes, absolutely.
Put that on the wall?
Oh, absolutely. We'll get an Olivia cutout.
Huh?
She can get in back there.
Greg
she'd
Monahan's on it.
And she'd love that. She would absolutely love that. I'll just get to.
Well, so would we.
I'll just
Shut up.
She just have to approve of the picture. She just have to
didn't get
approve
it.
of the picture.
Yeah.
So, don't do it without her permission, or she'll kick your backside. Is all I can tell you.
Well, not Jamie. He won't be here.
In the linchpin today, someone who the boys are all very confident in got some really good news.
This is the linchpin.
all right, this might be the dumbest linchpin I've done yet.
And that is a high bar to get over.
Very much indeed.
So much so that Jamie even brought it up to me earlier and said, dude, should I change it out? And I'm like, nah, maybe we won't get
Let me
to
just
it.
tell you that this linchpin was
I
brought
thought he
to you.
should, but I didn't bring it up.
And this linchpin was brought to you by some boxed Pinot Noir last night. So
Okay.
Zach Eflin on Twitter announces with his wife or fiance or girlfriend, whatever, I don't know her official title with him, that they're expecting a baby. And he did it on the back of a fishing boat. They looked exuberant. Congratulations to the Eflins.
Wait, he did what on the back of a fishing boat?
The picture and holding her belly.
Not the conception bar.
It might
I
have
found myself doing you yesterday.
It might have
Maybe
happened
they went
on the
back to the scene of the crime.
There you go.
It's very possible. It made me think being a dad changes you. It does. Somebody last night was asking me, I'm about to be a dad. Any advice? I said, nah, nature will take over and you'll figure it out. Enjoy the ride. It's fun. Joel Embiid and Carson Wentz both became dads in the last year. Arthur Embiid just celebrated 6 months, I think yesterday or the day before. Carson's baby girl was in the locker room with him. He was pushing the stroller. And yes, I did the corny dad thing where I was like, oh, that's a nice stroller. It's not the one we have. But yeah, we researched that one. You do stupid stuff like that now.
Oh, yeah.
So my question is Zach Eflin more of a Joel Embiid or a Carson Wentz? Is he going to wilt under the dad pressure or thrive and become an MVP? Not an actual MVP, just a good number 3 pitcher.
More Embiid. I don't think Zach Eflin's weak.
No.
And I don't think he's a softie. I just
mean performance.
I don't think he's a guy up in his feelings. I just think Zach Eflin hasn't been good enough. I think his talents have been overvalued.
So becoming a dad, is he going to hit that 5th gear?
It's a very invigorating thing to become a dad because you have pressure on your shoulders.
Absolutely.
And I don't believe he's wilting mentally. No, so I'm gonna bet that Zach does a little better.
He's got a wonky back. That's the only thing that can.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd year in a row that he's had something with his back.
I know.
So that's a little iffy. But I think, whether it's fatherhood or not, I think he's in for a good year. I think he's in for a very good year. So, yes.
More Embiid than Wentz.
More Embiid than Wentz, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you guys, and I think you talked about him not being mentally weak. If you remember when he first came up, and he had a horrible season when he first came up, I think his ERA was over 6. He kind of had that Gavin Floyd deer in the headlights look, like, oh man, like this kid doesn't have it. Maybe the stage is too big. He's lost that, where he will have good starts, and it might not be up to your standards, John, but like he's steadily improved a little bit every single year, and I think he isn't that mentally weak Carson Wentz type. I mean, look, he's not going to be Joel Embiid, the MVP type, but I think he's closer to being a number 3 starter than a number
I hope so.
3 starter in
I've
AAA.
never looked at him and thought that mentally weak.
No.
Yeah, when he first came up, I did.
You did?
Oh yeah, he looked lost when he first came
now
up.
the thing is, I've never hated his body language. I watch body language. I always hated Eli Manning's body language. The slouch shoulders, the shaking of the head, walking off the field, the glazed over look on the bench, staring off. And always hated his body. I didn't see that with Zach Eflin. I just think Zach Eflin just hasn't been good enough. And we'll see if he's good enough. Let's hope he is. And congratulations. Congratulations to him. That's good news.
Congrats on the sack.
Hey, Pets Plus Natural. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years with the area's largest selection of all-natural pet foods, treats, and supplies to keep your furry loved ones happy and healthy. Visit petsplusnatural.com. Nikki Foles is getting a little gift today when I come home.
Oh, what do you got for Nikki? You can tell us. I don't think she's listening.
They put her on the YouTube. She likes it. A pair of tennis balls. She likes the tennis balls.
Sure.
But I've been putting my scent onto them.
Stinking them up, putting them in your butt cheeks and wiggling it around.
So put the scent on them.
Take it in the bathroom with you?
The dog will find comfort in it.
I watched a fascinating video recently about dogs' noses and how advanced they are. It's amazing. It was like a 15-minute video. Blew my mind.
The dog, it cries when it hears me on FaceTime. And so she cries. So she's very attached to me. So put a little scent on the balls.
Yeah.
There you go. By the way,
usually that's not a problem.
By the way, here's one. A guy, Philly 444. He says, "Oh, geez, getting an approved picture from a teenager? Yikes." Philly 444. I don't know what you're about or who you are or whatever, but let me just say something. I do not impose a public life on my wife or my child. If they choose to be a part of what I do, that's fine. I don't impose it on them. I'm not going to take a picture of a teenage girl. In fact, I think you're a pretty bad teenage girl dad if you would do something where you just go, yeah, put up a picture of my daughter without her permission. Yeah, just put up a picture. Now, I don't think that would be a cool thing to do to a teenage daughter. Bob, you have a teenage daughter. You know, you don't do that. You don't do things like that with a teenage daughter. You actually show
there's
them
nothing wrong with communication.
You show them respect.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting that Philly 444 is probably not a teenage daughter's father. Hope he is, though. Hey, if you need a wing fix, too, get Hooters for all your basketball watching. Visit HootersToGo.com. It's just called common courtesy. I don't know. Permission, common courtesy. I don't know.
Common courtesy.
It just is. Listen to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, yes. Yeah, we do. Because I want to hear it again so you can hear it so it's not being misrepresented. Carson Wentz yesterday thought for some reason that what happened in Philadelphia was sort of out of his control. And I'm waving to Pat, too.
I know.
Oh,
there goes our perfect show.
Oh,
okay,
man.
So we don't have that.
Perfect week.
You don't have that.
Which?
Okay, just play me another Carson Wentz.
Okay, no, I'll get you
just
something.
imitate Carson Wentz.
I'll get you something.
Say something, Pat.
Okay.
Say something that sounds like Carson Wentz.
Here we go.
I don't. Jalen and I had a good relationship, and I wish the kid nothing but the best. I think he's got a lot of ability. I was impressed with how quickly he kind of grasped the offense and really understood things, and how well he did. Obviously, I would have loved to have been the guy playing the year out. There's no mistake in that, but that's not how it unfolded. And, I got a lot of respect for him, and it's just the way it unfolded. There's a lot of things that had to fall into place for all these things to go down and for me to be here. But, I said it earlier, I'm going to beat it to death. God has a plan.
Okay, that was 10 you-knows.
Oh, wow. I wasn't even
Did you catch all the you-knows?
For that.
You know.
There's a song.
Which now there's a tell. The Pat Egan tell that he figured out that Nick Siriani, when he was talking passionately about his brother, was comfortable and at ease, and he just spoke, and we didn't get all the like a Valley girl right there with Carson Wentz.
Well, let's see if that's the case when he talked about the Green Bay game.
Green Bay was probably the moment that I realized, this might not be it. Anytime you're pulled, am I going to go back out next week, next drive? Like, I had no idea. So all of those things go through your mind, but try and not overthink it. Try and just be in the moment, do what I can. I'm obviously frustrated to not be playing, but at the same time, trying to be there for my teammates and do everything I can to help the team. But yeah, those thoughts definitely creep in once you're benched, and that's just how it unfolded.
Yeah, but he got a lot of you-knows.
It was less, though.
But it was less. The truth being, though, and Bob, I think it was brilliant point of the day to Bob Cooney, too, probably the first time in his life he was benched.
Could have been. I mean,
he wasn't benched at North Dakota State.
Wasn't benched there.
And he probably was not benched in high school.
Probably shouldn't have played in the championship game after another quarterback led them to an undefeated season, right? Ballsy
Correct.
move by a coach to say, okay, Nick, go ahead. We'll put you back in for the championship game. Yeah, he did come up clutch and win the game, but that shows how much he was revered there. I'm sure in high school he probably set all kinds of records and didn't sit all that much.
Yes.
Could have been. It goes to the mental fragility that I wasn't a believer in, or maybe I was just naive to it with Carson Wentz. But really, all those thoughts were running through your head instead of just saying, I got to get better.
I got to get better next week.
It was like, maybe I don't belong here?
All of a sudden.
I can't believe he said that. Because it's not like he didn't have 3 months to prepare for that. That was their plan, to say that. I would have to imagine.
It was 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
It was
that
4
he
months.
talked to his agent, probably his brothers, maybe if he trusts somebody at his church that he, I'm sure he talked to people about how to handle this. And that was
the answer. It's a bad answer. Bad answer.
That was what they came up with.
But it might be a genuine answer.
That's what I was going to say.
It might be. So to me, I'm not going to rip him for being honest.
But isn't he? He's kind of telling on himself for being weak.
You are. Guess what? Guess what? It's one or the other.
Yeah.
It's either that was the truth, 100% the truth.
Which I kind of think it is.
I do believe it too, because I don't think the guy's a liar.
I don't think so either. I don't think he's capable of doing it.
I think he's a genuine guy.
But that's weak.
Is it? Well, it certainly would appear to be that way. Now, we want to hear weak. You got some Howie Roseman for us too, don't you? Speaking of weak, what is Howie doing today? It's like, is Howie...
He's hoodie shopping, just like
is
me,
Howie
Johnny.
rolling out in his hoodie and just trying to be one of the cool kids in the lunchroom? Howie wants to switch lunch tables. Yesterday was a I want to switch lunch tables move. Howie wants to sit with the cool kids, but he usually has to sit at his table. So yesterday he was trying to convince us all that he belongs to be sitting at the cool table. Can we hear a little Howie Roseman?
A lot of honest conversations with him and his representative about where he was, the feeling that maybe it was best to kind of move on. We told him that it would have to work out for both sides, and I think that that's what the trade is with Indy. It's a win-win trade for them, the player that they're getting, and for us, the opportunity not only to get the picks, really to reset us going forward.
So Carson Wentz did request a trade. He did request a trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was something that was being denied by people in his camp and some of his mouthpieces.
A fresh start. They packaged it as a fresh start was what was best. You requested a trade.
He requested a trade.
Yeah, you can phrase it however you want.
And guess what? If he requests a trade,
fine.
Then just own it.
Yeah.
Don't have your mouthpieces out there spreading the word that, well, that's not true. He doesn't want to trade.
Deshaun Watson
he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Has owned it.
Yes. Just, again, whatever your game plan is, just own it.
Yeah.
Just own it.
Yeah.
Be who you are.
Put them on the table.
Be who you are and say, I do not want to be here anymore. I don't like it being here. And guess what? If he decided I don't want to be here anymore because of Howie Roseman, he absolutely would have had a large portion of the fan base that would have said, damn right.
Yeah.
You're Carson, you are right.
Absolutely.
You are absolutely right to have that opinion.
And I
have a feeling in this room, if he had come out and said that, he would have had at least some mild support. And first of all, he would have had it from me in owning it.
Yeah.
By speaking, by letting a grown man speak for himself and not having your little mercenaries out there speaking for you. But I would have respected it more.
I guarantee you 80% plus of Eagles fans would have chosen Carson Wentz over Howie Roseman.
But the goodness in him,
80%?
I think,
easy.
I think that's low.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say 100.
I think
but
it's low.
Yeah.
He was much more popular in this town.
Yeah, I think the goodness that you referred to was one of the reasons, the main reason he didn't speak. And
because of who he is.
And he didn't say anything bad about Howie Roseman when he did speak.
And he never will.
No, he won't. I think that's the good person that he is, and that's thought out.
I think he is I absolutely believe him to be genuine.
Yes.
I think he tells on himself, though.
Yes.
So I will always respect that he's the genuine part of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to respect the fact that the minute the going got tough, you wanted to get going.
Yeah.
And that's been proven out now.
Sure.
Because the Eagles laid it on the table yesterday.
Sure.
He wanted out.
And he said it too.
And he said, if the deal makes sense for us, we'll get you out of here. Now, don't spin fresh start to me.
Yeah.
And don't have your little, media mercenary spread that for me either. You wanted a trade, own it. You wanted out. You didn't want to be here. You didn't love us anymore. Now, the reason you didn't love us anymore was because maybe you didn't like the guy you're working for. And as Jamie points out, if that had been the tack that they had taken, I think a lot of people would have said, yep, damn right.
Public's on his side.
Damn right. We don't like him either. And you know what? I think it would have potentially forced Jeffrey Lurie to get rid of Howie Roseman.
I think so, too.
Yeah. And, kudos to Carson Wentz. Look, as easily as you said that, he left this town, people on Twitter everywhere, oh, good riddance, who cares? He knew in his ear that if he would have just come out and say, look, Howie's impossible to work for in some kind of a way.
And he wouldn't do it.
And he didn't do it. I respect that to a degree.
To a degree. Well, he seems
genuine.
Like he thinks that wasn't appropriate.
Right.
I don't know where his faith would come into that, though. I mean, you can be blunt, you can be honest, and you can be a man of great faith. You don't have to worry about he's dealing with his own life. He had a chance to say something and speak to it.
I think it's just the high road thing.
And he did take the high road.
Yeah.
And we tried to, too, with our Project 11 and everything, because we tried to focus on the good things that he did here.
And he's absolutely a good person.
And I believe he is a good person. I believe
he folded.
And I believe he's going to go and take great work off the field in Indianapolis, too.
Sure.
Through his foundation and everything. And I also believe that if he hits a bumpy road in Indianapolis, he's most likely to fold again. I think what'll happen again. Hey, Natural Lawn of America, I want to thank them, the official lawn care company of spring, the safer alternative in lawn care for your kids and your pets. Schedule their full-service program right now, and you get free seeding every year and peace of mind. Call 800-FREE-SEED. Natural Lawn of America, with greener grass and fewer weeds, guaranteed. Gentlemen, we have a big weekend of hoops and fun planned. Should be a great, great time. So that is going to be absolutely awesome. And hopefully, we thank our friends from Hooters. Great job, Hooters, and we appreciate you so much for this takeover. We thank you very, very much for your patronage on this Friday. I look forward to seeing everybody back on Monday, and everybody have a great weekend. For Pat and for Coach and for Jamie and Bob, I'm John Kincaid. Thank you so much for being a part of our show, and we will see you Monday at 6 for the John Kincaid Show.
As John said, it is tournament time. We're getting ready to go out and watch some games now. With so many games going on, who wants to bet just one? That's why I love betting parlays on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. It's a great way to combine bets from different games for an even bigger payout. And guess what? FanDuel's here to help you if your parlay doesn't go as planned. That's right. They'll give you up to $25 back inside credit if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. That's 1 parlay per day, each day of the tournament. For new and existing users. I told you I filled out my bracket. I kind of feel bad. I went mostly chalk, and I wound up picking Michigan to win the whole thing. And that's why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. They're always hooking us up. The app is so easy to use, so many bet options to choose from, and always on promotions. And when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 24 hours. If you've been thinking about signing up, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Bob so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Bob. Must be 21 or older and present in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $25. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The John Kincaid Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Well, if you're planning on hiring a lawn care service, doesn't it make sense to hire a company that provides better results and is safer for your family and pets? That's why I chose Natural Lawn of America. That's my lawn care company. Natural Lawn provides homeowners with greener grass and fewer weeds using an exclusive organic-based lawn care product. Now, this isn't a cookie-cutter lawn care service. Natural Lawn tailors their applications to your lawn-specific needs. And their unique approach to lawn care has reduced chemical pesticide use by 85%, creating a safer lawn for your family and pets to enjoy. Locally owned and operated for more than 30 years right here in the Delaware Valley, I trust my lawn to Natural Lawn, and you should too. Get the results you want and the peace of mind you deserve. Take advantage of their limited time offer. Schedule Natural Lawn's full service program and you'll get free seeding every year. That's right, free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED. That's 800-FREE-SEED for my lawn care company, Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed.
And